Hello, hope you guys can hear me now. What a morning. It's been crazy. You finally get a chance to say hi from Sarah Soto. I can't even say that. Sarah Soto, Florida. What's up, Jamie? Sarah Soto. Wow, that's a tongue twister. I speak Japanese. I've been studying Japanese, not fluently, so don't even come at me with okay, yeah. Don't even go to me like that. But I definitely know the Japanese alphabet, so it's hard for me to say some things. My island moment. Where has gun control worked in your opinion? No argument, just curious on your opinion. A good question. I believe that, by the way, I'm planning to write a book this year about it because I'm so obsessed with being a part of the solution. Gun control has worked in the mere fact that when stricter gun laws are in effect, they tend to work, believe it or not. I just read that these red flag laws have been proven to reduce the risk of suicides. You guys know the suicide rates are freaking plague in our country right now. So gun control has been able to get the word out as far as statistically. You know, some people don't like coming here to talk to me about gun control because I be bringing out the stats. You know what I'm saying? I got stats on stats on stats. But mere fact is gun control also can be able to donate, be able to create outreach programs that people can donate to. Outreach programs are proven to work 70% of the time, right? To lower the risk of gun violence. So gun control attached to these organizations that essentially can be funded in order to create these outreach programs, support people in politics that are going to be able to get things done on a legislative level. So it does help. I mean, the only way that we're going to get to these solutions is if we use gun control. I mean, you can't just go to people's towns and say, y'all are crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a reason, and gun control is the reason to get things done, right? So if I wanted to, let's just say go out to school, right? And they'd be like, what do you want to talk to our kids about? Well, I would say what? We all say gun control, right? To be honest, I really wish they would change it. I really don't think it should be called gun control. I think it should be called gun violence, to be honest. Calling it gun control makes it pretty, puts icing on shit. I think it should be called gun violence, to be honest. I think our country is starting to wake up. Here in Connecticut, I believe we're for sure have adopted some red flag laws. In other states, gun control is really a state level issue. But there are some states that just do not want to budge, like Texas, where George Floyd's grandniece just got shot on the second floor. How does that happen? They now have a permitless carry law. You don't need to get a permit to carry, and you can get a gun as early as 18. Right. And this is in a country where a state and country where people just don't care about being part of the solution. So gun control is where it's at. Guns are not the problem. People are. Sarah, I advise you to just do a little bit more research and not say stuff that makes no sense. I mean, I just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go to Yale or anything, but maybe I should is what I'm saying. I mean, the mere fact that people try to argue that a gun is capable of doing anything on its own is just kind of like remedial. It's really a dunce statement. And what I want to do is completely annihilate even the argument that people can say that guns don't kill people. Well, duh. That's not even an argument. Like, really? You're right. People kill people. People are the problem. So people don't get to use the gun. Sorry. People are the issue. So people can't use this tool because people can get their stuff together. You understand how that works? Criminals are still going to do the crime. How can you prove that? How can you make such a blanket statement like that, Sarah? How do you know? Are you a criminal? Do you know criminals? You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So let's not assume, and let's not make preconceived notations about things we don't know nothing about, right? Right now you should take the opportunity of just listening and not using talking points that really bring us nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to attack you or anything on here. I just want you to understand that your constant your comments are basically bringing forth enablement for the guns to still be able to be used, right, in gun related occurrences, right? Just do better. How about what? You guys are going so fast. God dang. It's right now. I just want to I'll read you guys' comments in a minute. But right now, everybody's stuck in the snow here in Connecticut. So if you're in Connecticut, please, I don't know, take your vitamins. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, you got to be healthy to shovel 10 inches of snow. Okay. I'm surprised so many girls. I've seen so many girls, basically be so pro gun. It's kind of amazing to me. Girls, you guys can sit back, relax. You guys aren't the issue. It's hard here, Jordan. It's hard talking about gun control when it comes to women, because all you guys are doing are enabling these men to continue to reign supreme when it comes to this gun issue. Women aren't the problem. Let me repeat. Girls, slow your roll. You're not the freaking problem. It's boys and men. They dominate like 93% of all gun violence. You guys are the victims, usually, of guns. Do you understand that? Like, what kind of complexes do you guys roll with? You guys don't understand that women are usually victims of gun violence because they're more than likely able to be controlled with a gun. And I mean, that's just true. I mean, ain't no girls freaking doing mass shootings. Ain't no girls doing intimate partner shootings. Yeah, there's some. Of course, there are some girls that are freaking batshit crazy. But for the most part, my friend, for the most part, it's mostly men. So girls, sit down. This is why I don't understand what you guys, when I'm trying to get the word out pertaining to gun control. What you guys don't understand is the mere fact that you should not be getting in the way of people trying to interject our society and keep it safe. Like, how remedial can you be? I tell everybody this because since I'm now the gun control queen and I want that title. Okay. I want my crown being the gun control queen. I've never seen so many law abiding citizens get in the way of something that should be beneficial for everyone and on a subject that's plaguing everyone in every demographic. Why would, if you are law abiding, be in the way of people that are trying to create laws that are going to keep us safe? Please explain that to me. Please explain that to me, because I don't for the life of me understand that. And women get in the way. Women, you're not the issue. Do your homework is what I'm saying. What's up, Hooks? Look at you.
Yo, what's going
Happy. Look, that's why. Look. Check out the smile. Look at the energy. You got a lot done yesterday?
Oh yeah, I got a lot done yesterday. It was a nice day. It was fun.
What you playing?
Call of Duty.
Ah, they.
No,
Oh,
but
man.
hey,
I'm over here talking about gun control, and you
yeah, I
over here
checked out
playing
your
with guns.
I seen it a little bit yesterday. I was going through it. That's some nice content you got there. I
Yeah,
didn't know this is a show. You didn't tell me this is a freaking show
you
like you
didn't. You
do.
didn't read
You know,
the Andrea
this is
show.
my first time doing live and stuff. And then when I seen all this, I'm like, whoa, she's really like
Yeah,
she's
I'm
up
trying.
there. She
I'm
got a lot of
trying.
followers.
I'm working my way up.
You were talking about gun control with some guy, and your
Oh yeah.
fans didn't really like him. Who was that about? What was that about?
Listen, there's so much drama on my channel. Like, it's not even funny. Like right now, they come. Let me just get your Let me just get your opinion. What are your opinion on guns? Why you gotta play that game? Why you gotta be
Um,
so rude? Why you gotta play
why
that
did I
game?
put?
That, like, this is
Uh,
so. Listen, we're meant to be friends because I'm over here talking about y'all. Y'all gotta stop using these guns, man. And you over here smiling, playing with guns, like yeah, pop, 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 talking crap to people all over the world, man. I got you. You just got. I mean, holy crap.
I mean, I feel like with games is more of a that you can't go that next level where we're in real life. If something happens, it's permanent. You don't got like a redo or a rewind button like in a game. Something happens to you, that you're gonna come back alive over and over again. Where in real life, if you die, that's it. It's no coming
Yeah.
back.
So you are obviously sane enough to know that it's just a game and that
Yeah.
you shouldn't take it seriously. But can you tell me this? 'Cause you look really young. I think you said you're 23, right?
24. Thank
24. I'm
God,
sorry.
take 23.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said he's already trying to rewind time. 24 at 24 years old. Do you feel like can you explain to me? Because I'm 36 and we didn't have games like that when I was
You're
a
36.
yeah, I'm 36.
I
So
thought you were like
when I
23 or 24 too. You
you know what
know.
I'm saying? You making me blush. You making me blush.
Oh, son.
But the games that we had when we were younger in the early '90s
Oh, those are
was what,
fun.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros, Sega, Tetris, stuff like that.
Fun games. I
My
don't know
mom
what would
loves that.
happen. Your mom must be my age, or close to it. How can you explain? Let me just tell you this little stat that mass shootings are happening mostly with young boys and men between the ages of 15 to 19. Do you think that the games are having influence on them deciding to make this horrific decision to take out innocent people?
Wait, hold on. Can I hear that one more time just so I can get a better intake?
Right. Do you okay? So gun violence pertaining to mass shootings, which I'm pretty sure we can
Yeah.
all agree, whether you're pro gun or
Hmm.
not. We want that to stop, like innocent kids being killed randomly at lunchtime.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, do you think that okay, so like I said, between the ages of 5 to 19, do you think that this gun culture with the games, do you think it has some type of influence to make these kids decide, hey, listen, I'm sick of it. I'm gonna take these kids out. Like there's a desensitization when you guys play this game, is what I'm saying.
Honestly, yeah, most definitely. But that's not the only factor. A lot of things can influence your choices in life, like seeing guns on TV or in a TV
That's
show
right.
or in a movie, in video games, like you said,
That's
or
right.
maybe mentors, or even if you're raised on it. Like a lot of kids younger, they're raised to go hunting at a young age, and
That's right.
they're taught to kill another thing in life, and they can take that, I don't know, any way they want,
Sorry.
basically. I don't know. It
Right.
has. I guess it just has to do
For
with
yeah,
the.
go ahead.
I guess it just has to do with the trauma that they are experienced or have experienced, and how they want to take that and use what they learned in life. I guess you can say. Like, I don't know. Me personally, I don't feel like anyone should kill. That's just how I was raised because my
It's
family's
how
pretty
you're
much.
raised, guys.
Yeah,
I can tell you're raised. I can tell you have great parents. Are both your parents together? Your father and your mother?
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
see.
you can check them out
So,
on my page.
oh, you can. I'm pretty sure I added you. Yeah, I did, but I just don't know why you're not on my for you page. Do you push out a lot of content?
I try to. I don't know. I don't think I have a lot of videos like everybody
No.
else.
Well,
I
I
heard
can
they
say,
make like
yeah.
I make like one video maybe a day.
That's what's up. Listen, a lot of people think that it does have a lot to do with like in the black community, we are disproportionately affected with gun violence due to gang violence, mostly shotguns, handguns, revolvers are something that really, I guess, our choice in the inner cities. And a lot of people on the right, I don't know if you know anything about politics, but Republican people are for guns and they like to make these talking points that black people are killing each other at high rates. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's a statistic. You don't have to take it for face value, but I actually do. And there's an FBI statistic. Let me know if I'm releasing too much information on you. I feel so bad. You're like, dang, I just want to live my life, man. I'm 24 years old. I ain't trying to worry about you grown up stuff. But
I'm
actually, you know
keeping
what?
on.
You are a grown up. Actually, you
Yeah.
grown. 24 years old.
Thank you.
Are you
Yeah,
in
yeah, I
college?
am.
Wait, hold on. Are you in college?
No, I was though.
I
I
hope you
got
go
out of high
back.
school.
Yeah. You got a lot of potential. Damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Republicans are basically saying that the reason why there's so much gun violence is because of the missing father in brown communities. I don't know what nationality you are. I can't even tell. You look like you could be Asian and
Uh,
black.
my mom's she's Latina and my pops is black.
Oh, that's why you look exotic. I knew I couldn't figure out what you were.
Yeah,
Um,
my pops is black.
but still, Latinos are right with black people pertaining to the statistics. I mean, they really commingle us with the stats. But you have a good family, and you are able to ascertain. Do you think that there's a plague in your opinion, with the missing father in Latino communities and black communities? That's what I wanted to ask. And
All
is
right,
that the
well,
reason why we're killing each other?
I don't know how I see it is like, cause I come from a bad community. I live in Michigan, but we live. I used to. I was raised in one of the worst cities, Pontiac. So out there,
Wow.
yeah. So it's like a lot
I
of
used to live in
violence,
Hazel
a lot of
Park.
gangs. Oh, Hazel Park.
I used to
I
live in
got a
Hazel
friend that
Park.
lives out there. She
And
loves it. I don't know.
let me tell you, I still miss Hazel Park.
Yeah, she
I was
loves
the
it. I
only
don't know
black girl in
why.
my whole school, so I went back to Hawaii. But anyways, when you said that, that just put a dagger in my heart because Hazel Park was like a really good town when I was there. Anyway, so back to you. How do you say it? How do you say it?
Pontiac.
Pontiac, Michigan,
Yeah.
it has high gun violence.
Well, yeah, because it's see, the thing is, it's a poor community, so a lot of poor community, a lot of drugs and guns and
Wow.
stuff like that gets pushed through in and out. But the thing is, like they, you can say that the black people are killing the black people, black and black crimes. The thing is, they're getting the guns from somewhere, and someone has to make the guns. To make the guns, they have to travel from somewhere, and to travel, yeah, they might be buying them, but somebody's selling them. But and then again, if we're poor, if, these people in the black communities, not just blacks, Mexicans, anyone in the poor communities, how are these guns being pushed in? It has to be provided by somebody from a higher authority. Just
Oh my
makes sense.
God. I'm so proud of you. I swear to
Thank
God, you
you.
better go back to college. Go back to college, okay?
Thanks.
Because I am really impressed because everything that you said was eloquent. But when I say it, they think I'd be like, wah, 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 wah. I swear to
No,
God,
no,
they,
you're
they don't
telling
be
the
hearing
truth.
me.
The truth. That's
You
the
know, I'm
thing.
not. I'm not trying to target my people in these in gun infested cities. I'm just trying to get them to wake up because they don't understand how, like you said, how are they getting there? Because these law abiding citizens are in the way of gun control. Kids
Yeah.
are being shot every 2 hours and 38 minutes. Where do you think those kids live?
Have you seen what happened out here in
Probably in inner
Michigan in Lake
cities.
Orion?
What's going on?
You didn't hear about that school shooting in Lake Orion? This kid came and shot up all these kids in
At
Lake Orion High
Oxford,
School.
Oxford High School
Oxford,
in
yeah,
Michigan.
Oxford.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, the
Yeah.
whole world heard about that. But
When
all they do when it comes to a mass shooting, they really play us in the media, pertaining to when a white kid shoots up a schools, and when black boys are shooting each other in the streets. So they pretty much people don't even talk about it anymore. You don't
we'll
see it on the
see.
news. They give them 24 hours and they send heart warming thoughts and condolences, and then everybody keeps it moving. Because
Well,
I'm
see, the
telling
thing
you,
is,
yeah,
between those shootings, people, even the police, they keep trying to act like and think that it's different. That's what it
right.
seems like because, he's black, he's white, he's shooting still, or, he's killing because he gets bullied. The thing is, they're both shooting out of trauma or something that happened to them when they were young because they didn't get the help. They get the help they need instead of, being involved in like guns or like bullying or stuff like that,
Right.
or
When you
growing up in
say
a.
MDB 5 said, why is everything about race? Because that's the way they break it down statistically. Okay, just do
Oh,
me a favor. That's the way our society tries to break down. Listen, when you are living in a
hey
country
Gamer
that has
Alex.
been created
Hey Jordan.
with division, that's
Yeah.
just how they do it. If you look right now under gun control and stats, they
Oh.
break it down not only by race, they also break
Hmm.
it down by age. They also
Yeah.
break it down by demographics. So,
Hmm.
and what I have found concerning as a person in real estate is the mere fact that if you break statistics down pertaining to gun control as far as location and demographics, you'll
Yeah.
find that race has a lot to do with it because in these areas are dominated by specific races.
Yeah. See, and the
So
thing
I'm not
about
doing
that
it. That's
is,
just the facts. Go ahead.
and this is where the thing about that,
You
and
won.
because I'm big
Good
on
job.
comics, a lot of has to do with like race wars in comics. And if it's not your skin color, it's the way you look, or the shape, or the size,
Right.
or the richer you are, the poorer you are, the more intelligent you are. They'll find something to substitute
Right.
that race for something else. And I don't
I'm
think that's
telling you,
fair
you
to
have
us.
potential. You
Thank
would be a
you.
good
Thank
Democrat.
you.
Let me tell you something. Come on to the left, because you can
Yeah.
vote. You can vote. You might be 24. You can vote. Did you vote? Did you vote?
Oh, okay. Don't be mad, but no, I've never voted.
You've never
That's.
voted? Oh man,
I
you got to
mean,
do it. It's fun.
when there was someone that I wanted, I didn't really know how, or I don't think I could. It was Barack Obama. That's been the. I
Oh,
know,
there you
but
go. Let me tell you
that's been.
something. I was even young when Barack Obama started being the president, and I had just had my, I believe, my first child, and so I was probably your age, to be honest, or
I
younger.
was in sixth grade
And
when he became president.
yeah, okay, then I
That's what
definitely
I'm
was at
saying. You
least
know, it's
21.
like,
Yeah.
but
Oh, so you
there's
didn't know how
another
to vote
guy,
for him, but you wanted to in sixth grade. That's cute.
Bernie Sanders, but he didn't win. So, but I
Look at
think.
somebody said, okay, so since he hasn't voted, he is a good Democrat. What I'm telling you is that he aligns with leftist point of views. Okay, he didn't say that he was pro-gun. He didn't try to stick up for the gun or make excuses for the gun. That's you guys on the right. Okay, if you want to talk, yeah, he would be a good Democrat. What's wrong with being a part of a party that created the Civil Rights Act from 1965?
I don't know. I
When a Republican, there are Democrats that were far right that didn't like it so much. They did. There was never. Can I tell you this? I have done my homework, okay, and I am telling you, white people in the southern region never wanted equality within blacks and whites. Not even Abraham Lincoln. So just be,
oh
there have been a lot of things that Republicans have done. Honestly, if you want to be a Republican, I'll be a Republican. But what we will do is we will make sure the Republican Party is back to its original ideals. Okay, that's the only time I'll be a Republican is when black people can come back, because that's where we were. The Civil Rights Bill, I believe, was done by the Republican Party. The Emancipation Proclamation was done by the Republican Party. But for some reason, when they commingled with the far right Dixiecrats that were a part of the Democratic Party that started the KKK, now you guys are commingled with, unfortunately, racist people. Sorry.
yeah,
So if
can't
you're
help
not
it.
racist, you guys can thank 1965 Dixiecrats for commingling with you guys, and now we can't tell.
Damn. That's the truth, though. I didn't know
It's
that though.
yeah, it's fun. Let me tell you something. People say when I get really triggered when people say, and no pun intended, when people say that they don't like talking about politics because it's so interesting and enlightening to know how we got to this point. You find that out in politics.
I read a lot about politics. I just don't. I don't know. People tend to get upset because
Yeah.
they want you to choose a side, and if you don't choose a
Right.
side, you know that tends to upset people because, like that person was saying on your text, if I was a Democrat and I
Very
voted
well.
Democrat, that could be like one more vote for the Democrat Party.
Right. Well, I
But
don't see the problem with that. I really don't. The Democratic Party brought the first African American family into the White House. The Democratic Party brought Michelle Obama.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
let me tell you, like you guys might want to say, well, Barack is biracial, blah blah blah, but Michelle is black as hell, and that
yeah,
rhymed, and she was in the White House,
yeah,
and so were
yeah.
her daughters. When I think about black people
Her
running the
daughter
White
went to
House,
Michigan.
oh, they went to Michigan State.
Yeah, I think it was Michigan or Michigan State was one of them, but I think it was Michigan. I had a friend that she's Albanian. She
Yeah,
goes to school down here, and she said she went to school with her. I don't know how it was going to school with her, but I remember them posting some pictures of it.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking for some clothes right now.
Look at you. See, my son right now is going to be 12 in a couple days, and he's starting to get into clothes. It's so funny because he didn't care how he looked up until now. Now every day he want me to buy him a new sweater or new pants, and I'm just like, are you a metrosexual? Because my daughter is the complete opposite. My daughter want nothing to do with the world. She really don't. She
That's
told me
my
she's an
little
A.
brother.
Yo, yeah,
Oh
she's
man.
just like, I'm an asexual. I said, what the hell is that? I said, you coming out the closet? She goes, Mom, I don't really want to be even near the closet. I ain't even got a home to have a closet.
Oh snap! Yeah, my little brother's like that. He hit 18. Like I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
hey, you better not do that again. Don't do that again. Like, if you trying to, yeah, okay.
I just had
I had to go like this, you guys. Um, you should take communications. Listen, I'm a mentor
your
and
mentor,
and a realtor.
a realtor. Yeah, you told me that real estate.
Hey, listen, if you need guidance as far as what you want to do, we can talk about it. What are you passionate about? Hey, you got the cologne. Where you going? Where you going? See, I'm not ready for my son to get like my son is already on his way. One of my friend's daughters goes, I want to say goodbye to Nicholas. And she did that eyes like she wanted to eat him. I said, oh, Nicholas, run.
Yeah. Nicholas found his wife.
Yes, my son he's playing basketball now. I'm like, I'm just not ready.
He's 12 too.
Yeah, he's almost 12 in a couple days, and he's biracial.
Man.
So he's got good hair with the caramel skin. I'm just like, oh. His dad's white. His dad actually, I thought his dad was part Latino because my son looks Puerto Rican. I swear to God, I'm gonna show you a picture real quick. But I for some reason when you mix white and black, sometimes it looks Puerto Rican. Anyway, I think it's interesting. I think we need to stop being offended when we talk about our cultures and things like that. Like, you should be a model. I mean, to be half Latino and half black, that's so beautiful. So, do you speak Spanish?
No.
You speak habla español?
No, because like I said, because my mom, she's Mexican, you know, and Puerto Rican, but my dad's black.
Oh God! Wait, hold on. She's Mexican and Puerto Rican?
Yeah, her dad's Puerto Rican, her mom's Mexican.
Let me tell you something. I have two girlfriends that I love dearly. One is Mexican, and then the other one is Puerto Rican. I don't know. Tell me, am I wrong? But when you combine that two, that equals spicy.
Oh man!
Your mom must be lit. She must be fun. That's what I'm saying.
My friends, they love her, but my family thinks she's a little crazy sometimes.
No, I bet your mom is cool. Is she tall?
Yeah, she is. She actually is tall. 6'3". She's probably 6'2", or she might be taller. She's taller or shorter than me. I forget. Like when I get taller, I go over people I never notice until like.
Oh, that's the black side. No, I got to give it up to your dad. That's just from your dad. Come on, give us some credit.
My dad's like 5'3", 5'2". My mom's like, oh yeah, that's short, isn't it? My dad's like 5'4", and my mom's like 6'2". I never noticed.
Stop it! Oh, look at me judging. Your mom is actually tall. Your dad is short.
Yeah, my dad's really short.
Look, you guys are fans of him. Please add him. We gotta support him, you guys. We gotta support him. Do you see, on a serious note, guns being an issue in this country at 24 years old through your lens?
Yeah. Honestly, yes. If we could find something, because the thing is, people get guns, you know, like that kid that killed all those kids. That's not a reason to kill people because, you know, you're getting bullied or picked on. He wants a way to defend himself. If we could substitute that way instead of using guns, like, why not do that?
Substitution is seriously the word of the day. And you know, you guys keep using your whataboutisms. Well, if they're not going to use a gun, they're going to use a knife. Well, if they're not going to use a knife, they're going to use a car. If they're not going to use a car, they use a lollipop. Okay, it's like, well, then use a lollipop then.
I got it. Well, if they're not going to use a lollipop, they're not going to use a knife. Why not use words? Why not use peace? I'm happiness.
What is that? Hercules. Use words. We need a slang. We need a slang. Listen, what can we say? And then we could maybe make some shirts and just pass them out. Let's see. I gotta work on my rhymes. See, I got a rhyme book. How many of you guys have rhyme books?
Oh, that was the thing you just said right there.
Don't use guns. Use words. What? Wait, what is that?
Use words.
Not guns.
Yeah.
Or just say use words. Something like that. I'm going to create a T-shirt in the next few months to pass out to bring forth the awareness. I need a slogan like that.
Dude, that was a slogan right there. I'm telling you.
Let's go into business, okay? Let's start selling shirts with positive words of affirmation. We need to spread the love.
I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta go.
Okay, all right. Bye. You're my favorite person. Know that. Have a good day. Bye. Oh my God, I'm so proud of him. I can't wait till my son gets 24. But I just want him. Jeff, are you here, babe? Babe. He's outside shoveling. Okay. That would happen in a utopia for sure. I'm a utopian. You guys didn't know this, Rachel. I know trying to reach for a utopic society is reaching, but I'm a reach. Loot, give me the loot. What an adorable kid, though. Let me just see here. Let me see some of you guys' comments.
Morning, good morning.
What's up, Wah Wah?
Not much. Shit. I mean, it's cool that you have somebody new on and stuff, but
Yeah,
damn, there was a couple comments, and the people that were making the comments, I think, aren't physically here anymore because I was about to, yeah, like there was a couple different things where I was
yeah,
gonna say, where somebody wasn't understanding the fact that us criminals, I will say it like that. I think I need to start prefacing that because I don't think a lot of people ever get the actual opinion of felons and stuff like that on these
right.
subject matters online or whatever.
I
But
see you're onto
I
something, Juan. You need to
I think a
normalize
lot of people who
representing
I don't
criminals. They
understand.
don't. They're underrepresented for sure.
I think, I shouldn't even say criminals because you know what? Somebody who is a regular square person said the other day when I was saying criminals, she got offended and she felt like it was. So, for some people, it's probably offensive, but I'll say people who have felonies, I think, should get online and talk more about their experiences and stuff because one of the things
Yeah.
that I'm passionate about is the fact that as American citizens, once again, it goes back to education. I don't know the exact number, but there's a giant population of our people who don't know anything about the criminal justice system except for the fact that their uncle got arrested or their brother's in prison, and they don't know anything else about it. And I think everybody should understand how things work and what happens when you get arrested. Like literally, no matter what happens, whatever the situation is, the actual arrest itself, like when the handcuffs get
Okay, can I
put
just
on
say
you,
this real
I
quick?
think people should know.
Absolutely. I honestly love where you're going with that. We need to normalize people being able to be represented by criminals. I think criminals in general, just that stigma is really not good for society. I mean, a lot of times when you do get these titles like felon and criminal, you get shunned out of society, and maybe that's why they continue into the street life because they feel like there's no rehabilitation for them. Even if,
It's actually
even if,
true. And
yeah,
system is actually
yeah,
like that. And
yeah,
actually, even
I
when it comes
agree.
to that was the problem that they had with the well, obviously we know the racial component of it, but the stop and frisk laws that they had in New York, I don't know how long ago, I haven't been on the East Coast in like 15 years. I don't know how long ago it
It's cold
ended,
right now, so you need
but
to stay right where you are.
yeah.
But hold on,
No,
hold
it's
on, one.
cold out here. It's in the negatives.
I'll let you finish your statement. But I do want to give Rachel Crit some credit. I don't really get stumped too often, as if I can say so myself, when it comes to you pro gun lovers. But you do make a point here. She says statistically, more good people with guns execute self defense against bad people with illegal guns. I think there is some truth to that, but I really would like for you to look at
I don't think
suicide.
so.
Well, I said some truth. I didn't say
Yeah.
the whole truth, so help me God. But what she does bring up a nice, valid point because I guess what you're saying is if a criminal is going to do a crime, that's an opportunity to intervene. But that's really high risk. You're risking your life. You're risking your family's life by trying to be your own hero. But I really would like for you to look up statistics pertaining to the gun, pertaining to accidental deaths. Okay, it's a real thing, as well as when people say this binary good versus bad, it's really not the right way to go about this debate because a lot of kids are good until they go bad. A lot of people are good until they go bad, and we can't really differentiate when that time happens. Nobody knows what makes a murderer. That's why that show on Netflix was so popular because nobody knows really how do you get up to the point? How do you lead up to that point? And even when you get brought to that point, this dude is claiming that he's innocent, like with wholeheartedly. So it's very hard to say who's good and who's not, to be honest. But I do see your point. I just want to let you know that I'm not biased. I hear you. K Danae, what I want to say is when you say that it's impossible, you say that you can't or never create a utopic society. That to me is just not the type of ideology that I rock with. I'm a woman of God, and essentially, a utopic society will happen in heaven, whether you want to believe it or not. Has it ever happened here on earth? Yes, I believe so. I believe that when Noah's Ark happened, if you believe that that historical event happened, I believe that could have been a utopic time. When I mean, we're pretty much all descendants from Noah, if you really want to be about it, and how he procreated, I don't want to know. But at the end of the day, I do believe in society there has been a utopic reality, but we have really broken apart from that idea because people keep saying that we can't have that. Why can't we have a utopic society? Why? Why? What is stopping us from being able to barter and fish and hunt? You guys like your guns so much. Start fishing and hunting and get on these manufacturers that are freaking taking. Is that Spider-Man shirt? Taking advantage of these freaking kids, taking not these kids. Well, yeah, these kids too that are being exploited in other countries, as well as killing these animals massively. You understand? Look at your shirt. That's such a cool shirt. It's scary as hell too, if I can say so myself.
It's my grandkids got it for me for Christmas.
You don't even look like I'm grandpa, but that's crazy.
I told you plenty of times. I got like 7 of them, and
That's wild.
The oldest one is about to turn 17 like next week.
Black don't crack. Okay.
Everybody
Psychology literally proves
that I was adopted into this family.
Psychology really literally proves it. How can you prove on a psychological level with every human being in society? That would be my ultimate dream, is to mess up and actually hit the lottery. I swear to God, I would create a utopic society. In real estate, you could really do it. I forgot what the term is called.
Let me jump in real quick with what you're specifically talking about. Well, what you started talking about at first.
Trying to cock block my utopic proposal.
Just real quick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, because I knew you wanted to walk away, so I'll jump in with this real quick. The one thing that, and obviously is true, but when everybody thinks about gun violence in general, and Andrea knows that I'm not anti-gun, I'm pro-2A. I just feel like there should be more restrictive levels set in place, so that way, like I said, as a felon myself, I live in Montana. I can literally right now, that's what people don't understand. I can literally right now contact so many different people who have no kind of criminal record at all and literally buy a firearm from them as a person-to-person sale, or give them money and ask them to go to a gun store and buy a firearm for me. Things are so lax here that when me and my woman went and got a firearm for her adult son right before the pandemic started, we went in there. It was his Christmas present. She pulled her card out to run it to buy the firearm for him. Her card didn't work for some reason. So I pulled the cash out of my pocket, handed it to her, and she handed it to the gun shop owner. Now, this is after the gun shop owner ran her son, who has a clean record, ran him. The gun shop owner knew that she was going to pay for it, didn't run her. And then when her card didn't work, I pulled the money out of my pocket in front of him, handed it to her, and she handed it to the gun shop owner. He didn't run me. Yes, that's all incredibly illegal. See, that's the whole point.
You're talking about straw man purchases?
Yeah, well, yeah, basically. People really don't understand the whole concept of, everybody thinks that just because there's rules set in place, that things like this don't happen, and things like this happen all the time. And just like I said, I don't know if I was in your live yesterday or somebody else's, but I was explaining yesterday, and a lot of people didn't believe me, but I don't lie. There's no reason for me to lie to strangers on the internet. But
right.
Another thing, right, when like the BLM protests first started happening and stuff, one of my clients, he's a psychiatrist. One night we were having a discussion, and he was telling me,
can I just say this, Katie? Can you just stop with your all caps? We get it. You don't want to be a part of the solutions. Just relax, bro. Okay, go ahead.
He was telling me that he was worried, and he was hearing rumors that like the KKK was going to come out here, and since there's such a small black population, like we would be like soft targets, and things might happen to us. This older white man who's a psychiatrist was messaging me about this stuff, and he's like, I'm worried about you and your family and the kids and stuff like that. And he's like, if you need a firearm and you don't have any, you can come to my house and pick a couple things out, and I'll let you borrow them. And I'm like, I almost said this person's name again. Like, I'm a felon, and that's illegal. And he was like, I
Right.
care about
And it's
more about your
happening.
life. Yeah, and he said, I care more about your life and you being able to defend yourself than what's legal and not. And then I was like, well, in that case, if I really feel like stuff gets weird, because like I said, this is right when BLM stuff really started to get big, and things were kind of scary for a lot of people. So I told him, I was like, you know what? If I do get that worried, maybe I will contact you. But if you do let me borrow or give me any firearms, you're gonna have to report them stolen to keep
Joe,
yourself
you
safe.
know
And he
what,
was just like, oh.
what Juan is saying is so relevant that it's just so hard to me that K can't freaking just tone the hell down and see, Joe, that what he's saying is that you law-abiding citizens are breaking the law by being a part of the sales of the freaking product. You understand?
And the last thing I was gonna say,
Law-abiding citizens are breaking the law. This is what I'm saying. And for Kay to continue to say that reaching for a utopic society is not realistic, well, just let me know this. Do you believe in Yeshua?
And look,
because ain't nobody today saw Jesus, is what I'm saying. But we still pray and we still believe in him. So you're actually wrong, and you're about to be blocked because you're annoying.
The last thing I wanted to say real quick, which is actually what I wanted to say first, was to me, legal gun owners can be as dangerous as any criminal or whatever, or somebody who shouldn't have a firearm in the first place. The reason being is that, and we see this in society many times with the Ahmaud Arbery case and the Zimmerman case, people who legally own and they don't have a criminal background and they think that they're right and they're doing the right thing and they're big, pro, like I'm a patriot or whatever, they are more likely. I think this is an opinion. Normally, I don't debate opinions, but I think people who don't have a criminal record and they're walking around freely with their firearms that they're allowed to have here in Montana, people open carry all the time and stuff. I think that a lot of these people will fly off the handle and shoot somebody in a situation where it's completely unnecessary because they're not thinking about the fact that they're doing something wrong or they might get in trouble. They're sitting there thinking, I don't have a criminal record. I'm a legal gun owner. I'm protecting people. And then somebody gets shot and they're just like, what did I do wrong? Like, I'm a legal gun owner. I'm not a criminal or anything like that. I didn't do anything wrong. That's what Zimmerman thought. That's what the guys that murdered Ahmaud Arbery thought. People don't think about stuff like that.
Right. Everything that I'm missing that Juan said, I'm going to put on my YouTube channel and listen to it because I really do enjoy these conversations and I love growing with people. Like, Juan is my friend. Like, we talk almost on a day-to-day basis and I'm missing his story because I'm trying to filter, what you guys are saying because I don't want you guys here. Okay, you're right. People are saying, how could you do this and this is your show? Guess what? I'm also the creator and CEO. And it's my objective is to invite people here that are able to have a conversation. Okay, able to you guys keep thinking that debating is arguing. I never said that I wanted to be a part of a debating show. Debating just happens when you talk about things that we disagree with. If you want to disagree, then you can disagree. But ain't nobody debating here. Gun control to me is an imperative national crisis. That guns violence is an imperative national crisis that needs attention.
And in case anybody doesn't get it. And in case anybody doesn't get it, I'm not anti-gun. Me and Andrea completely disagree about a whole bunch of things. I'm pro Second Amendment. I just understand the concept of which people just don't get it. Most of the guns that are out in the street come from legal gun owners one way or another. I just want people to understand that.
Joe, you're making some really valid points. Please come here and talk to us. I would really like to hear your point of views and reading your comments because when I'm seeing valid comments that oppose what I'm trying to do and talk about, I give you the opportunity to share your thoughts. So I would love for you to send a request and hear what you have to say. Because you did say, but everything, you don't have to show your face. And actually Rachel too. I really enjoy your content pertaining to the subject. So yeah, I do block people that bring forth no value here. I want to have people here that are able to swap thoughts. Gun violence is a problem, but not in the sense that the media is trying to push. Rachel, I'd have to disagree with you respectfully. You see how you do that? Respectfully, I would have to disagree with you. A 4-year-old was just shot the other day. You know, how many kids have to die for you guys to wake up is what I'm saying. How many kids have to get shot? Okay, is what I'm saying. For you guys to wake up and understand that the gun violence is the second leading cause of children dying. You know, I really don't care about adults, to be honest. And listen, I'm never living in a gun-infested freaking city or town. So if you're living there, and I'm encouraging you to get a realtor and find a better environment for you and your family. If you cannot do that, then you need to be a part of gun control so that your cities and your blocks aren't being plagued with gun violence. You understand? If you're not going to move, then you should be for gun control. And the mere fact is, people that are not for gun control are living in hunky-dory freaking towns and think that they're safe because they have a good neighborhood and they know all their neighbors. But in fact, they're not. Those are the towns that are raising these boys between 15 and 19 that have mental issues, that are going to the schools and shooting up everybody else's children that are unarmed in gun-free zone areas like schools. So nobody is safe. How many more kids have to die for you guys to get that? You know, if adults want to shoot each other, then then do what you got to do. If you want to, I'm not for suicide, but you know, some people are right. If somebody is having these thoughts, they're going to find a way. I just talked to a lady yesterday. If you came here, her son was very mentally ill, and she did all the therapy she can think of. She did everything humanly possible. He did not use a gun, and though they had a gun in their house, but it was locked and it was secure, and they never gave him access. He chose another route. So, you know, suicide is a very particular sensitive subject that I think we should be focused on. We shouldn't be talking about your guys' love for the gun. We should be talking about how we can interject in these kids' lives and make sure that they have the support that they need so that they don't kill you and my children on lunchtime.
Let me say real quick, I think where everybody was, I mean,
Okay.
and I get it, and I understand the valid points where people were talking about you blocking people. I think part of
I'm
what
blocking.
But I think part of what she's not saying to people, but she feels is she doesn't want to sit and read comments. She wants people to go on live and then debate. I've watched people pretty much like talk down to her, and she hasn't thrown them off on lives.
Yeah.
She wants people to go on live. She doesn't want to debate in comments. That's my opinion. And
honestly, I think you know me now, Juan.
Yeah, and like
you even knew, Juan. You even knew when I was going to go blow my nose. How did you know that?
I was on live. I'm friends with somebody who I watched you block after a heated argument like a month ago, like one of the first times I got in one of your lives, and we were talking about you last night, and we were talking about that situation. And I was explaining to this person, I was like, I have seen the difference in, like I told you, when I first started getting your lives, I literally thought you hated black men. Like you said things, I was like, she really just hates black men for real. And your tone and things like that have changed over the past month.
But why do you think that is so, Juan? Why do you think that is so? Maybe I listen to you.
Because, and you still do it sometimes.
Listen, I'm never going to deny my experience. Sorry.
No, but I'm telling you what you do. You still do it sometimes, but a month ago, I mean, it was constant. It was like no matter where a conversation was going, no matter who you were talking to, every 5 minutes, you literally started throwing the fact out there about black guys killing black guys, and that's all
true, though.
You focused on. Yeah, but that's all you focused on, and it was
because
listen,
it would be weird.
That's all you would talk about.
Okay, because
people were talking to you about all kinds of subjects, you would just always throw it back to that.
Right. Well, because that's where my focus is.
But I'm saying, I know that you're not like that anymore, and now you see things in different ways.
But I'm not going to stop. But listen, Juan, you're absolutely right. But I'm never going to stop talking about issues within the black community because I am black.
No. A month ago, I'm telling you, you probably didn't realize it was like no matter how any conversation was going, you just really would just push that and just
honestly, if I could just talk about blacks killing blacks, I would. Yeah, now I don't, because all I do is research on the subject, and what I find is that gun violence is plaguing everyone from all demographics, and that's what people don't understand.
If you want to talk about non-black people, then we could sit here and discuss how many people are literally killing their wives, and I think you started talking more about that a little bit, about how people are like killing women and stuff like that. people don't, that's what I'm saying. There's a whole aspect of it that's more than just, the gang members and stuff like that killing each other.
Right. And this is what I keep talking to everybody. I really feel like this is my niche. You ever find your niche on accident? When I'm talking about black on black crime, I'm not trying to attack. And that's what's the problem, is everybody's so freaking fragile and nobody wants to believe the stats. So there's not ever going to be a solution. Okay. And it's really prevalent too, because the media makes sure that they focus. When you talk about me talking about black on black crime, which there is a such thing as black on black crime. And yes, there is a such thing as white on white crime. And there is a such thing as Mexican on Mexican crime. So it's not that it doesn't exist. It's just a mere fact that everybody does it due to proximity. So let
me say real quick, what does cartel members that aren't in this country, most cartel members aren't I don't understand. I think a lot of people need to research things that are criminal culture. I think a lot of you guys literally just don't know anything about the real world or crime. I watched a debate yesterday where this young man and this young lady were debating immigration, and the young lady was trying to bring up all these stats that he was literally on the computer. Everything she said, he's just like, that's not true. This is the truth. But anyway, all her biases and all her talking points had to do with the fact that she was claiming that all the drugs and guns and all this stuff were coming from south of the border, which people who actually understand how any of this works understand it doesn't. And I wanted to get on there and debate her and say to her, the one thing I wanted to say to her, and I wish he thought about saying, was, how long have you been a drug dealer? How long have you been a drug trafficker? What do you actually know about how this stuff works? Why are you just throwing out random numbers of things that are coming from Fox News? What do you know about this culture at all that you're making all these points that can be quickly just knocked down in a second? Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So Dynamic B3 Trail 2, you said the working class needs to be armed in order to have a successful revolution against the exploiters. So you're talking about a mass coup that is going to take over our government with our guns. I just want to say that I believe January 6th insurrection was a small peak of what that would look like. And I want to tell you, were they successful? And I want to ask you a question, Dynamic. Why weren't they successful? If we're in a country where if we don't like something, we could overthrow our government with our guns, why didn't they? Crime is due to proximity. Mr. King J.O.K., I know that. So when you're talking about blacks killing blacks, well, that is black on black crime. So you guys want us to make it look pretty. Like, that's what I stopped saying black on black crime for a few days because one of our friends here, I forgot her name, told me, she said, Andrea, it's like the way you say things. Like, she's like, I know you mean well, but black people, I've noticed they don't like when you say black on black crime. I'm black, and I'm just like, why can't we say it? I'm black, and I don't want us killing each other of the same color. So she's like, you just got to change the way that you say it. So that's why I'm trying to do better by listening to you guys.
I agree.
But
I agree.
But what I'm saying is, it don't matter how pretty you make it. It's not going to negate the fact that blacks are still doing blacks crime with black people due to proximity. So let's not be fragile is what I'm saying. Let's get down to the solution and stop worrying about the title and how people explain it. Because Republicans that are being funded by the NRA are pushing these guns in our communities. And they aren't doing anything about gun control. So, and also on top of that, you got layers of police brutality going on. So I honestly would say this, the way that we're going at this rate, black people are not going to be 13% of the population. We're going to go down to 5%. So you want to talk about freaking abortion to negate the fact of the real issues. That's what they do. Republicans deflect because they don't want us to have equality. They don't want us here. That's why they tell us to get out.
I was watching a debate yesterday that had to do with race. And then like 2 or 3 people were really pivoting in the comments. They were just like, what about abortion? And like, why don't you guys talk about abortion? And I'm like, why are they talking about abortion? What does that have to do with anything?
Right. And let me tell you this real quick, Juan, because you've been getting good with the debates because you talk real fast like I do now. Hey, listen, guess how many eggs are ovulated? Guess how many eggs are that women carry in their lifetime? Guess how many eggs? Because anybody that wants to sit here and say that abortion is a bigger problem than guns in our country, especially due to the disproportionately affecting black communities, I will tell you this: can you have a baby after abortion? Because I had two, and my son is right next to me with his loud freaking computer playing his freaking show. You can have children after an abortion. One. And how many eggs throughout a woman's lifetime can she produce? 300,000. So how can that be possible? If you count 300,000 eggs times all the women in this freaking population, we're going to be overpopulated, is what I'm saying. Bill Gates will not be able to succeed in his depopulation freaking idea.
You know, one thing I've always wondered is
it's deflection.
Yeah, you know, one thing I always wondered, just in general, I don't know, it's just something I've always wondered. I wonder, people who are super anti-abortion or whatever, like, do they ever look into the stats of how many women have like miscarriages? You know, I'm just wondering, like, you know, that's neither here or there, but I know that people have miscarriages way more than people think, and I wonder, like, how you know, people really feel about that are just so upset about fetuses. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's deflection. Why is abortion even part of the political realm? Why? Because they use these talking points to get elected, to create movements that people agree with, and so they end up having this type of like stardom, fanning these politicians, and then they get elected and they don't do anything. Hi, Az Benedito. How are you doing? A new face. What's up?
You guys like stats, right? So why don't look up how many lives does gun save a year in the United States?
Does that negate the? Okay, yeah, sure. But honestly,
wait.
I would.
Wait. You want stats? The stats say that it saves more lives. So if it's saving lives, there you go. You like the stats, right?
It's not. No.
Like
What? No. Okay, you want to debate? We can debate, but we're going to be respectful. We're going to be respectful.
Yeah. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying you like.
You don't think I've heard that talking point? Yeah. Well, you better be ready for all the stats then.
Wait, when will blacks pay reparations for the whites? All the crime we
do me a favor. You do me a favor, Az. Do me a favor, Az. Yes, as you have a nice starting argument, but until you have your own stats with your own numbers, okay? I'm not going to even debate you. Go look up right now how many people survived from the gun. Go. You do the homework. I'm not doing the homework. I'm not doing the homework for you because I'm an opposer. So come prepared is what I'm saying, love. Come prepared.
Are you using your stats when you say that you like stats?
What are you talking?
Your own stats.
When I look up,
you want me to have my own stats?
Yes. I want you to be prepared when you come here. Because don't come for me. Because you ain't ready.
No. I'm just saying the stats are there.
Okay, what is the stats then? What is the stats then, bro? What is the stats? So you want me to sit here that it saves more lives? Okay, now you're saying that guns save more lives than takes lives.
Yes. That's a proven fact. Yes.
Let me go get my computer. Because you're gonna find out how many people die from suicide, how many people die from accidental deaths, how many people die from mass shootings, how many people die from crimes, how many people die from gun violence, how many people die on an everyday basis, how many people get shot on an everyday basis, okay? But you want to sit here. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. Would it matter if somebody in freaking Texas used a gun for self-defense, yet I died from gun violence where I am at? What good would it do?
If I save my family, yes.
But what about everybody else's family?
Yes.
But what about everybody else's family?
If I save my family,
yeah, because you're selfish. You're only thinking about yourself. Hold on, Juan. Let me just say this. Okay, I gotta let you go, bro, because you can't have a conversation. This is what I'm talking about.
I want to ask a question.
He's not allowed to. He can't have a conversation when he's talking over people.
Calm down. I want to ask both of you a question. Man. Like I said, once again, wait. Calm down. I just want to ask both of you a question. Everybody knows I'm not I'm not. The reason why I'm being quiet with this is because I'm not anti-gun like she is. I just feel like things should be, there should be more laws in place so that way legal owners aren't selling to
It's like
felons and things like that. Now, my question to you is, like she was saying, she wants the actual numbers about your statement.
He ain't got it.
My question is, how would you even get a number of that in the first place? Serious question, because it's not like every time that somebody's able to stop a crime or whatever, or save somebody's lives with a firearm, it's not like there's an actual statistic you could look up, or is there? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Okay, here we go. I did the stats and I do the homework. How many people are saved by guns? It says here, Professor Kelk has shown, at which has now been grungingly, I never heard that word, confirmed by CDC. So the CDC says, which I don't even know how you guys would believe everything the CDC says, but the presence of a gun potentially saves the lives of at least 2.5 million people every year in this country. Your personal defense gun, don't leave home without it.
Did you say potentially? Did you say potentially?
Potentially.
Did it say potential?
Yeah. So where is this source from?
That sounds like it's opinion based.
Yeah, it is. And guess what? Anybody online, this Chuck Baldwin guy is a professor, and he made an article about how many lives are saved by gun. And he's got all this information. No stats. Just like, this is just like a, what you call it? What is it called? A study? Which is here nor there. I'm gonna try to look and see. See, this is what you do when you're trying to look for information. You got to look at multiple sources, and it's really time consuming.
The fact that I'm bringing out the fact that what she's reading is opinion based, and it's because I'd like to debate facts. Once again, you guys are going into opinions and stuff right now. That's why I'm trying to be quiet about it, but I'm just letting anybody who's watching know that I debate facts only. So that's what.
Okay, all right. That's actually a smart way to go about it. But how many people die in the U.S. from guns? More Americans killed by guns since 1968, which is very relevant. I mean, Civil Rights Act was, 1965? So you guys need to really understand these dates and times when we're talking about the NRA, when they were created, when guns started to go on the rise. Because these dates are very close to Civil Rights acts and things of that nature.
The NRA was actually the fact.
You froze. I'm sorry, what was that?
NRA was actually
You're freezing. Yeah.
African American had guns. Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry. When you're not freezing, I'll be able to hear you, but I can't right now. It says more Americans killed by guns since 1968 than in the U.S. wars. More Americans were killed by guns since 1968 than in all U.S. wars. Yeah, note that under the stats. Combined, more Americans have died from gunshots in the last 50 years than in all of the wars in American history. Since 1968, more than 1.5 million Americans have died in gun-related incidents, according to the data from the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention. Listen, I never, I don't know why he froze. I never, ever once said that the 2A should be infringed. I never, ever once said that you shouldn't be able to protect your families. I've never, ever once said that self-defense shouldn't be used as a last resort by a weapon, okay? Honestly, if you're in a situation, you need to do everything humanly possible to keep you and your family safe. That is common sense. But the debate, when you guys come here and talk to me, you guys make arguments out of nothing. To sit here and talk about the people that survived by the gun was not going to negate the fact that, where it says here, that more people died since 1968 than all the wars that have existed in the United States of America. That's more than the Civil War, that's more than the Revolutionary War, all the freaking wars in our country.
Well, they're talking about also the death. They're talking also about the deaths that actually happen in war where they're getting shot. So that's all combined.
Okay, but that doesn't negate the fact that the gun seems to be the common denominator of people dying.
It's me. It's not the gun. It's me. It's me. It's not the gun.
Okay, yeah, of course. Right. Honestly, I commend you for saying that, because I don't even know how people can even come here and say guns don't kill people. People can't kill people. Well, duh. So I agree with you on that. That's not even a debate, to be honest. That's not even an argument. So y'all gotta stop saying that. Okay, it's the people in this country. The gun culture is so prevalent that people don't care about the disparities that it's bringing to everyday Americans. Do me a favor? Tell me, do you feel safe now in America? I really want to know. Yes or no? Do you feel safe?
Now that I'm out of California, yeah, I do.
Well, California is pretty gnarly.
I live in the middle of Montana where not much happens. And like I said, with the point I made before about the legal gun owners with no criminal background, who's never been in trouble, who are carrying, and some small situation happens and they think, oh my God, let me save some people's lives or whatever. And they start shooting and somebody's killed over something that doesn't matter. Like it shouldn't have happened.
I don't think that's true with the Kyle Rittenhouse and all this shit that's been happening around. A lot of people open their eyes.
That's what happened to Ahmaud Arbery.
You can't just go. You just can't go and save and be a savior.
But people still do it. Yeah, we're seeing cases that show that you can't, but people do it. That's what I'm saying. Like in the Ahmaud Arbery case, it doesn't matter about race or anything. They just saw somebody that they assume was a criminal, and for no reason, not minding their business because one is an ex-cop and the other one probably doesn't have a criminal record. They're like, oh, let's go stop this criminal. Like, when we have firearms, let's take our fight. This shit's weird. It's fucking weird.
They tried to do a civil arrest, and they used their gun to get him.
It's a very minimum. It's a very minimum.
But I'm just saying, me as a felon, and most felons that I know, if I'm not actively trying to go commit a crime and I'm illegally carrying, me pulling out my piece is going to be the very last resort in any situation because I have to stop and think. If I pull it, I'm going to use it. And if I use it, I'm going to get in suits, all kinds of trouble. That's why I'm saying with legal gun owners, it's more scary because people aren't thinking like that because they're like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not a criminal. Let me stop the criminals. That's scary. That's
so so I wear pants said, should we ban forks to prevent obesity? It's the #1 killer of Americans. I don't know why you would say ban forks. Nobody is saying that the gun is doing anything. Nobody's saying the forks is doing anything. The people are the issue. That's not a debate. So stop coming here with that lame dunce freaking excuse to come here and try to defend your gun. It's not a debate. Obesity is the debate. So what do? We need to take the manufacturers, we need to talk to them and tell them, do you know I love salmon? I've been trying not to eat pork and things that God told me not to eat. Do you know I read yesterday that they're farming salmon and charging a hefty dollars for us to eat it, and in these pools of disgusting infected water. So not even our fish is clean. We need to get down to the manufacturers and the people that are producing our food, the people that are producing these guns, and start intervening. One, we don't need more guns in this country. I think you guys can all agree with that. 390 million guns in this country.
That's what I'm saying. That it's a little very minusculous.
Yeah,
you guys are talking about with so many guns that are out there.
Well, I think one thing that we could do as far as gun control is stop making them.
No, we already have like 300 laws for it.
What are you saying?
Them. People that don't have them, that aren't supposed to have them, they still get them.
No, it's more than one gun per person. I think it's almost 3. There's more. That stat is a little off. There's more than one gun per person. Oh yeah, no, you're right. There is. That's more than one gun. Yeah, absolutely right.
A lot of us that shouldn't have them can literally we know many legal gun owners that will just sell them to us. Though. Look
at this. Zegging.
It's very rare. They're not
said the U.S. government has enough M16s. They should though. The government. Let me just try to read some of the comments, you guys. The U.S. government has enough M16s to give every man, woman, and child 6. I'm not giving mine up. So basically, what you're saying is that there's too many guns, but you don't care. Okay, cool. Jesse's here. What's up, Jesse? Okay,
the last one I bought, I waited 5 days for them to approve it.
Okay, can I ask you why do you have a gun?
Why? Wait 5 days?
5 days. Because it was all backed up, supposedly pick us up.
Out here, it takes 45 minutes.
Okay, do you know Houston, Texas is one of the ranking cities for gun violence?
It's one of what?
One of the high-ranking cities for gun violence.
Isn't it Chicago and
No, it's not even Chicago. Is what I'm saying.
Starting?
Oh, hold on.
No, Chicago's not even in the top 7 in the United States. All 6 of the top 7, Andre, you might want to look it up. 6 of the top 7 cities with the most crime are in southern states. I don't think Chicago's a southern state. So I don't know the actual names of the cities, but Chicago's number 7 out of the top 10.
No, look, and the problem is that in Texas, I'm in Arizona. In Arizona, everybody's carrying, and you hear one or two of them, but everybody's carrying. So you're hearing all these other places that are supposedly not carrying, having shots everywhere, every weekend. And supposedly, they have
so you guys can admit
the toughest.
Okay, let's just see where we agree at. You guys agree that gun violence is a problem, and your guys' solution is more guns, more training. So what you guys are willing to do is to take out Americans that you feel are breaking the law or infringing in your peace. You guys are willing to kill. That's what I'm saying. You guys want to kill. That's your guys' solution. Let's not make the gun look pretty here. The gun is meant to kill. And actually, I've had you guys come here and say that you can't shoot. Like, I was like, why can't you guys shoot the kneecap? Like, if officers shot like a foot or something like that, then maybe these people wouldn't die. They live to fight another day. But I was told by tons of people that love the gun that you need to shoot to kill. So you guys are willing to all load up in a country that has more guns than people. And instead of getting a part of the government and making sure that we are doing on a state level everything that we can to take precautionary measures so that we don't have to take that shot, because you guys are acting like if you have a gun and an intruder is coming or somebody's going to break a crime, that you actually have a high chance of being successfuseful. There's a lot of people here.
I have a higher chance
because what you're the best.
You don't have one.
Okay.
If you don't have one, I have a higher chance than you, right?
Yeah, but if I don't have a gun, what? Yeah, exactly. Why would I? Okay, so you have the gun, and I don't have the gun, and so who's the criminal? Me? Because why are you using your gun on a? Why are you using a gun on an unarmed person?
No, I'm saying you're saying if we're protecting ourselves, and I have a gun to protect myself, and you don't.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying.
So who's protecting themselves is what I'm saying. Because I don't have a gun. And so don't you think that makes me vulnerable? The mere fact that you have a gun and the mere fact that mental illness is on the rise in this country and everybody's do you know the sales of guns went up because of the pandemic, because people thinking that we're in a tyrannical government, so people start buying all the guns. I don't have a gun, so I'm vulnerable in this situation.
You don't think it was
Andrea,
you don't think it was
I saw somebody in the comments that has enough followers. They said they wanted to talk to him. Like I said, I feel like you guys are kind of
Jesse. I know Jesse has five.
So I'm gonna jump out.
Okay, all right, Juan.
We're just jumping back and forth, but yeah, you
like
a woman. You like I would say that. You know how many women get raped in their house? You just look at those. Look at the stats. Look at a stat. Look at the stats where a woman could have defended herself.
57
if you
women.
Don't want to defend yourself, if you don't want to defend yourself, that's on you. I'll defend myself and I'll defend my family, and that and I'm not gonna say sorry for defending myself or my family.
Well, you're not going to win against the government. You're not going to win against the government.
Oh no, I know that. I'm Mexican.
You have no chance with the government.
I know that.
Listen, I want you to know this before you go. I want you to know this. I support you defending your family by all means necessary. So I'm not talking about you with self-defense. I'm talking about suicidal rates and criminals that have the gun. So do you have any solutions that can get the guns out of the criminals' hands?
Not the criminals' hands, because they're always going to get it. If they don't get that, they'll get a bat and smash you. So the criminals. There's no solution for the criminals, but for
no solution.
You guys should have. We should find a solution for mental health, though.
Okay. Hello, all right, Ash. Thank you.
How are you, Andrea? I wanted to combat what he was saying. You don't have to shoot to kill. I'm a 2A proponent. I have weapons. I'm military trained. People choose to shoot to kill, but that's not the only option. And to have a weapon to defend your family, yeah, everybody can do that. But people choose to shoot to kill, and that's because the morality of this country has been in decline since the beginning of the 60s. Well before that, but it took a swift decline after the civil rights movement. And people wanted to act as if because black people were getting rights and all of the disenfranchised people were getting more rights, that crime was going to increase. So what they did was start looking for reasons to have weapons, and the Republican rhetoric says that if a Democrat is in power, they're going to take your weapons. But no Democrat has ever tried to take their weapon. And
Yeah.
every single time a Democrat get voted in, you'll see the rise of gun sales. And it's just rhetoric. People tend to follow that rhetoric.
Yeah.
You'll notice it in November when they get elected in, the gun sales increase. And the same thing happened every single time. And that's what the Republicans do. They sell it. NRA didn't get its increase in membership until after the Black Panther Party went onto the Capitol House floor with weapons. You know why? Because when the Black Panther Party said, okay, if they have guns, we can arm ourselves. And they went on the Capitol floor and in a peaceful demonstration, and they said, okay, if you guys don't do something about them coming in our neighborhoods, hurting our people, we're going to do something about it. So they
Right.
changed
Now,
all the
wait,
gun laws then and started.
I'm honored because I know you've been coming here, but I haven't ever talked to you. Oh my God, there's so many things I want to ask. Okay, real quick.
Actually, we have talked before.
We did? Oh, I'm so sorry. I
Yes.
forgot.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's been a while.
Okay, so the Black Panthers, and this is why I do have a focus with my black people, is because it really disproportionately affects us, and they know this.
Yes.
So let's talk about the Black Panthers, right? A lot of black people.
Okay.
I don't want black men to make them think that I want them to be vulnerable. Where we got police brutality going on, we got a lot going on, but the NRA has everything to do with this crap, you guys. So Black Panthers
Exactly.
came a rise. I'm trying to educate myself more with Black Panthers. The Black Panthers was actually a positive movement that was meant to protect the community. And
In fact,
did you guys see what they did to the leader of the Black Panthers? They threw him in
yes.
jail and they shot him in his bed with his wife. It's disgusting. But what I
Yes.
want to say is the laws changed when the Black Panthers started to be successful. The laws changed when it comes to guns. They started to tighten the gun laws.
Exactly. What they did, the Black Panther Party said they were a neighborhood organization that caught roots, and more people wanted to be affiliated with them because what they was doing was every time there was a crime that was unsolved, the police would go into a black neighborhood, they would pick up some poor black unsuspecting person, they would pin the crime on him, they would have a jury of all white people that would convict this person. There would be no kind of evidence that said that this person did it. But because it was an all-white jury, a white judge, this person would take a ride and most times get executed for the crime. So the Black Panther
Exactly.
Party said, and
Nobody
then
cares about the
a
truth.
lot of a lot of police officers also at that time would go into the neighborhood. They found a black woman walking. They would pick her up, put her in the back of the car. They would go rape her. And these black men stood up and said, "You're not going to do that to us." So they combined. They start walking their neighborhoods, patrolling their neighborhoods, protecting their neighborhoods. And then they got strong. They start providing nutrition. They start if there was a person in the neighborhood that was unemployed, they would give them employment. They made sure that the kids had food to eat. They made sure all the people in the neighborhood had food. They were, even to this day, the Black Panther Party is responsible for nutrition in the school. They're responsible for the program that we today call WIC. The Black Panther Party started a lot of programs that our government took over and started giving out. So people don't know that. And they think that the Black Panther Party was just about being vigilantes. No, they were not. Just like in California, most of the gangs over in California started as protection for the neighborhood to stop the police from coming into the neighborhoods and robbing and looting and doing the same thing that the Black Panther Party did. So,
can I say something real quick, please?
yes.
You know what? I actually want to talk to that last guy that was on.
Oh,
Because,
as
yeah,
did you hear come back?
but no, it's okay. But I feel like this, that people like him have no sense at all. They rather defend a gun than a human life. That's the way I feel. And I feel like, they're saying, oh, well, we should put guns in the school. Why the hell should we put guns in the schools? I say it like this. Put metal detectors and basically maybe an armed security guard, or maybe I don't know, the police or something like that. Don't arm teachers with guns. Don't do that. Because I've said it like this. Say the teacher get into a tussle, kid grabs a gun, we got another school shooting. These teachers are not trained militia or whatever how to properly use a firearm. That's not the way. I think metal detectors, maybe armed security guards, or maybe, police escort, around the schools or something. You assign a police officer around the school or something. That, I think that would cut down on school shootings tremendously.
Well, you know what? I think we should go one better. I think what we should do is have more parent participation in the school. Have the parents join like organizations that will go into the school and monitor the halls
Well,
instead of
no, but see,
having
that's not. But see,
kids
that ain't
do it.
gonna work neither. See, the problem is that
I
we
beg
need
to
we
differ
need
because
trained
there's an
professionals.
organization in
We need trained professionals. We don't need
there's a
more guns in schools. We can.
hold on. I'm not saying guns.
Let each other talk,
I'm
please.
sorry. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying guns. I'm saying parents. There's an organization in New Orleans right now where a bunch of men got together and went to this school that they was having so many fights and so many problems in the school. The fathers patrol the hallways. The fathers, got to know the kids, joke with the kids. Some of the kids didn't have father figures in their life, so the fathers started mentoring them. And when they started doing that, they went from having at least 50 fights a week to having 0 fights a week. Because what it did, it made the kids feel visible again. And that's what's happening. So many kids feel
Okay, well, let me just add this. Look,
invisible
check this out.
because their
I
parents have
looked
to
up.
spend so many hours.
Check this
Sorry.
out.
1 second.
I looked up this right now because I'm trying to see
Go
the
ahead.
most ranking cities that are dangerous, and I think this one is pretty much in line from what I've been researching. So the top. Well, this is just most dangerous. Top 100 most dangerous cities in America. This is on www.alarms.org/top dash 100 dash most dangerous cities in America. Okay, so the top 10 ranking, and this is a right with a lot of the statistics that I've had because you guys want to keep on mentioning Chicago. The first one is Alabama. Alabama Anniston. The second one is Alabama. Bessemer. That's two cities that are top ranking in the most dangerous cities in the country. The next third one, somebody said it was Chicago. It's not, according to the statistic. It's Florida City. The next one is Pennsylvania, the fourth. Pennsylvania. McKenzie-Port. Where you guys at? Fifth one, Missouri St. Louis. Sixth one, Detroit, Michigan. Seventh, Maryland, Baltimore, where that black cop lady just got shot in her car. The next one is the eighth is Memphis, Tennessee. The ninth is New Jersey, Camden County. And the 10th is Florida, Opa-locka.
Opalaka.
So why is it that Chicago is continuously overused in this debate? I don't get it.
You know what? This is the thing that got me. A couple years ago, when they had that school shooting in Florida, and they had all those congressmen, Ricky Rubio, all these big shot senators, and they were in a town hall, and they literally don't even give a crap. It's literally about protecting their ego. They don't give it. They don't care about guns. They don't care. It's not even. They don't care about people. It's about their ego and trying to literally have these Republicans or these gun constitutionalists to keep them happy. It's not even about people. That's the way I strongly feel. I'm not pro Second Amendment. I believe strongly in the Second Amendment, but I do believe that there need to be guidance. There need to be control. We need to have gun control. Maybe, with assault rifles, I'll be careful what I'll say, but AR style assault rifles, you shouldn't bring an AR or any type of assault rifle. Those things are designed to kill.
Oh, Az wants to come in, so you can. I think you said that you wanted to talk to Az, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
You gonna kick me right out?
You can come right back. You can come right back. I just wanted Az to be able to talk. I'm monitoring. He wanted to talk to Az. He should talk to Az. Come back though.
No, if he comes in, I only got a few more minutes, but okay. I do want to ask him a couple questions.
Go ahead.
He's not in the box yet. I don't see him. Okay. So I heard a lot what you were saying, and I'm not pro Second Amendment, but the problem is that gun control is out of control in this country. Basically, I've heard people say they're okay with teachers having guns. Why would you give a teacher a gun when they have a scuffle with the teacher that he pulls the gun and then shoots the teacher? Now we got in their school shooting. I say if you want protection in the schools, metal detectors, armed security guards, or have a police officer.
Guns right there in the school.
Hold on. Or
you
have
just said guns in the school.
No, you have a trained professional.
But that's guns in the school, though.
No. Hear me out. You have a gun in the school. You have someone that is there. That's the only person. You don't need to have a teacher. That what I'm saying. Teachers are educators. Why would I give a teacher? They're supposed to be educating my children.
I'm not.
But you're giving a teacher to have a firearm on her side. I won't take that seriously. I'm not going to put my kid in a school where a teacher has a gun.
A police officer in the school it's a gun in the school. That's
but
what we mean.
The police officer is a trained professional. That is the problem. That's the problem. Hold on, hear me out. I want to say this. That's the problem when I have with people like you. You believe in your Second Amendment, but you believe in your Second Amendment. But when it comes to protecting kids, you don't give a crap. That same thing happened when I expressed these kids were in a town hall meeting, breaking down in tears. Ricky Rubio, all these big shot politicians didn't even give a crap. All they did was to protect their ego and protect their guns. But it wasn't even about the kids. That is the part that I don't understand about people who say, "Oh, I love my Second Amendment," but when it comes to protecting kids, you don't give a crap.
Exactly.
It's all about your guns. It's about your.
Let me answer that question then. Let me answer that question from the schools. Look, if we could have armed police officers, armed security in our banks. In the banks you have police officers, you have security guards. Why can't we have it with our kids? That's what I have. The most precious thing I have is my kid.
But my question to you, I want to ask you a question. Why would I give a teacher a gun that is an educator? They're not designed to have a gun.
I think what he's trying to say, as if I'm not mistaken, and listen, I agree with you 100% Truth Seeker. I believe everything you said was completely valid. So it was nice to take a break. But I believe what Az is trying to say is that, and I actually think this is a good proposal that we should have. And actually, this is happening at my daughter's school because a girl she got stabbed to death a few years ago. You can't even enter into the school. And there is a security officer that is armed at the school that is monitoring who comes in and who comes out. So I think what you're saying is like we need to up the security. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, up the security. Have a trained professional in there. Just want to say, hey, have a trained professionals in there that are able to tackle the situation. Don't have a teacher. Maybe the police. I said the police. You know what I'm saying? Like people who are trained.
Some teachers their teachers be coming out the pocket sometimes.
Especially
so the teacher feels agitated or something.
Especially these anti-gun teachers. So yeah, we don't want teachers with guns.
Especially,
but I've heard people say that they want to give teachers guns.
Really?
I've heard people say that. Give the teachers the guns. look,
Y'all
I'm not
just
going to
love your
sit. And this,
guns.
Andrea, no disrespect to you. Look, no disrespect to you, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to continue to argue and go
That's
back and
people.
forth with a person. Hold on, hear me out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to continue to go back and forth. And it's no disrespect to your show. I respect you. I respect your opinions and what you stand for. But I'm not going to
Don't
sit
leave
here.
me, Truth Seeker. I need alliances.
No,
Come
no, 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 no,
on.
no, no, no. I have to run. But I do say
Okay.
this.
All right.
I'm not going to
Okay.
sit there. I'll come on some other time. But I
Okay,
feel
love.
like this.
Okay.
I'm
But
not. Let
listen,
me say this. Let me say this before. Let
I
me
agree
say this
with
before I
you.
go. Let me say
Truth
this before I
Seeker,
go.
I agree with you.
I'm not going to sit there and go back with a guy, and it's no insult to you. But if you rather defend your gun rights over children, I have nothing to say to you, because people
You
like
see,
you
that's
don't even care. Hold on, no,
that's how.
hold on, no.
Okay.
Do
Well,
not talk over
you
me.
already talked too much, bro, and I
No,
was
but see, you
with
know what?
you.
But,
You already
okay, you
talked
know
too much,
what?
and I was
I'm
with
not gonna,
you.
like I
Okay.
said, you.
I said that we do need
I know
talks
what you're going to
at
say,
school.
Truth, because
No,
I believe
that's not the.
the same thing
See,
that you're saying.
that's not the problem.
Oh,
That's not the
goodness
problem.
gracious,
You know what you're
guys.
hating on?
Okay.
Okay, look.
That I prefer my.
I need to take a pause. Listen, Truth Seeker, if you could hear me, I 100% agree with you. What you just said is the reason why I put so much energy into this. Is because gun enthusiasts love their gun culture so much that they don't understand that gun control saves lives too. Do you understand? There doesn't have to be a right or wrong answer. Gun control can be a part of gun culture. Why don't you guys understand that? That gun control is just a preventative measurement to keep gun enthusiasts and gun sports and things of that nature safe. You guys talk about freaking education. Well, what is education pertaining to the gun? Not only being able to use it, but also to use it safely. That's gun control. How do you even argue gun control? If someone is out of control, you need to get them under control. That doesn't mean that we're going to lock them away and take them out. It just means that we're going to do everything humanly possible so that this tool is not being misused. In fact, it's being misused at high rates, and children are dying. How could you love a tool? Well, guns don't kill people. Well, no duh. But people are killing children. People are shooting kids. These kids have got to come first, is what I'm saying. Over your gun freaking love and culture of the tool. It's just so sad to me that you guys and are not getting that. That gun control. What's up, the moderate
Hey,
Democrat doing the
how
good
you
work?
doing? Hey,
I see you doing your thing always. Where you at?
hey,
What's going on?
I'm just got went to the drive-through McDonald's, got me something to eat. I'm about to go home and go live, but I was watching your live, and I'm friends with Truth Seeker. In our school, we have an armed officer. You have to be locked. The school's locked down, and then some of our teachers are trained and comfortable, and they have certain guns located in the school in case of a shooting, and that teacher could go and get that gun. So that's a little different. I mean, then not every teacher's forced to do it. Only teachers that are comfortable. I personally believe that we should have metal detectors
Yeah,
in schools because you can have all the protection in the world, but if you don't have metal detectors and you have a kid like what happened in Michigan, go in there and just sit down, and sit there and lay, and then they turn around and shooting people. If you have that metal detector, it's another layer of to stop somebody from coming in and harming our children because schools are a soft target.
yeah.
You know, and truthfully, if
So
we
are
use our
churches
brains
and
about,
so are
yeah,
malls, and that's where they
I mean,
that's where they
let's
choose
be
to go for some reason.
yeah, if you're being real about it, you go to a movie, you try to go sit down and watch a movie. I would want there to be metal detectors in that movie,
Yeah, me too.
or some type of guard that works there. So when you're sitting in there and you got your kids with you, you don't have to worry about somebody walking in and mowing you down.
Can I ask you this, the moderate Democrat? Since that
My
shooting
name's
happened,
Rudy.
have you huh?
My name is Rudy. If you don't want to call me all that.
Okay, Rudy, that's what's up. Hey, listen, can I ask you an honest question? Do you feel safe in this country pertaining to going to the movies, going to the mall, going to Walmart, and your kids in school?
I feel safe with my kids in school.
Why?
Right? Because
Because I don't.
with the layers of protection, but I wish they had the the metal detectors. Now, when we go to the movies and stuff, I mean, there's a risk you take. There's a risk you take when you go to Walmart. You know that. I mean,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to get my carry concealed because I am a gun owner and I am pro Second Amendment. My brother got his, and I'm probably going to end up getting mine. It's one of those things you got to be really comfortable carrying that around. I'm not a huge gun enthusiast. I do own one, but it's I get what you're saying. Like you go around in public, you don't know who's the weirdo,
Exactly.
who's going to be. You don't
And
know. But
can you just
I
acknowledge
always
this?
believe.
That anybody, it doesn't take a lot for somebody to pop off. Like, for instance, this guy who shot his girlfriend who was pregnant and then went and shot his ex-wife because he was dealing with a divorce custody battle for about 4 years. He was a nurse, and he did a video about it. Roger, what's his name? You guys, and he did a you guys hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Okay. And he did a blog about what he was doing when I was listening to him before he outed her and then outed himself, was that he said, I never thought I was going to be that guy. He said that I never thought I was going to be that guy. So what made him pop off? And he had a gun. How do we know what somebody's break is? So that's why I think psychological evaluations should happen often within the gun community.
I think I support red flag laws. That
yeah,
in
love
communities, like how many times have you seen a mass shooter happen, and even I mean I'm a Democrat, even Trump supported red flag laws, and how many times have you seen where, let's say you have a dude named John, and John did something really terrible in the community, and they're interviewing the neighbors and the family, and they're like, well, John was saying this stuff, but we didn't think he was serious. John was posting this stuff. That's why I like red flag laws, but the red flag laws got to be done right. You just can't falsely go up and take somebody's stuff. Now, if you got a person that's online and they're posting, radical stuff, talking about they want to do this to the school board or go to Walmart, do this stuff, if you bring that to your local, sheriff's office, and you show them proof, like, hey, you need to go talk to John. John's office rocker. Only thing that's going to do is bring the sheriffs there, talk to John, and if they see proof there that this guy's office rockers, it's usually got to go to a judge. A judge would rule on that, saying, hey, we're going to take this for a little bit until this person's right.
That's all that does is help. You guys are missing. You got nothing but facts, Democrat. Ruby or Rudy? Ruby.
Rudy.
So you have to show evidence.
Yeah, you got to show evidence. Yeah, they're just not going to go up there and take it.
Even then, you can go to court and you can refute what's been alleged.
Yeah.
So there is having a red flag laws doesn't negate due process. You got to still go through due process, and you can still get your gun back.
And like I said, it's got to be done right. You just can't be having people with the rights taken away. But legitimately, you got weirdo people out there that will do terrible stuff, and if they're online bragging about it, you gotta act.
Right. What's up, Will?
Hey, let me talk about this real quick. What Truth Seeker was talking about earlier about having a police officer, and all that stuff happened in Florida. Everything that he's talking about happened in Florida. The one he's talking about, Mark Rubio came in there and was, the kids were crying and all that. There was a policeman there that was cowering in fear for his life. That particular individual was actually talked to by police 40 times prior to this, 40 times, and he was still able to go out and purchase a gun and go up and shoot this. The gun laws don't save people. There's 20,000 gun laws in America right now. There's 20,000 of them. Take that into consideration. There's already over 20,000. There's 300 million guns in America. There's 40,000 deaths per year in America. The stat says that right now, minimum gun either deterrence or gun people actually defending themselves. Minimum of 250,000 per year are saved. Okay. Lives per year. That can go all the way up to 3 million because not every instance is reported, and it's hard to track. So it's educated, it's put in the books, it's there. So let's do the math. 40,000 people are killed.
Stats, guys. I just want to say that's how you come here and bring forth the stats with numbers. So he's done his homework. But what I want to say is I just want to interject before you continue on freaking shutting it down, even though I think you are pro-gun. I do want to say this. You're missing one implication. And that word is enforcement. Enforcing the law.
Yeah,
You can have the
that's the
law,
bad thing
but
about laws.
you can have the law, but is it being enforced, much like a protective
Exactly.
order? You know how many women
Exactly.
die, even though the protective order is meant to stop a criminal a domestic
Yeah,
violence?
they don't do that when it's physical, when it's right then and there. It's not
Listen,
going to
you
happen.
can get a domestic order. You can the judge can say you are not allowed, but the mere fact is you can't stop somebody from going to that person. So there has to be precautionary measures in between when the law is involved. It's my theory that these police officers, especially in high crime cities, are not enforcing the law. So that's where we got to put our money.
Believe you me, if a cop has a case to put on you, he will put that goddamn case on you. That's how they're wired. That's why the cops. I don't even want to get in the cops. Cops are wired to prosecute. If a felon has a gun, guess what? That guy's going to jail. That guy's immediately going to jail if they get caught.
Okay, so explain to me this. Will, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but explain to me this. The little black girl, 4-year-old that just got shot, which was George Floyd's grandniece on the second floor. It took them 4 hours to get to her. 4 hours get to the scene. 4 hours.
Depends on where she was at.
Exactly.
Why did it take 4 hours?
Exactly. Everybody just
because in law enforcement, and in rescue training, the first rule is to make sure the scene is safe. Was the scene safe?
But
hey, I'm just telling you that's their training. Because I'm in manufacturing. And I'm on rescue teams, and that's the thing that they teach, because they don't want a hero going in somewhere and then dropping dead for an unseen danger. Now, that situation was the scene safe for the paramedics, the cops to go into. That's what they're trained to do. That's their training. So I don't know about the 4 hours. I don't know anything about that, but that's just what I know about training the police and
that don't make sense.
responders.
Why did it take 4 hours for someone to show up if a little girl was shot?
Well, it depends on where you're at, because the law enforcement is kind of spread thin nowadays. I mean, I don't know if you know, with the vaccine and the depletion of the force, the defund the police, there's not a whole bunch of cops in a lot of high crime areas now. I mean, I can't even. I'm in a low crime area. I can't even get somebody to come out here if I get something robbed at my house. They just say, "Hey, we got a website for that." Just yeah, don't even worry about it.
I know. It just seems kind of. I'd like to see the facts on that. I'd like to see more facts on that, because this seems kind of crazy enough. Or a 4-year-old little girl can get shot. No one shows up for 4 hours.
That's crazy.
I know for a fact that in Oakland, a couple years back, my father-in-law lost his wife. Took them all day to come there, and the county morgue had to come there and pronounce her dead. She was dead already. All day. He had to sit on the porch for that. I mean, and that's Oakland. I mean, you just look. That's not even police. That's just the county morgue. That's just the county mortician or whoever does that.
See, don't you think? I feel like when there's cracks, there's green grass. That's where
there's opportunity, definitely. We should enforce the laws that we already have. We don't need any more. I mean, there's plenty of laws that can prevent a lot of stuff.
We from my experience in researching this on a day-to-day basis, almost, I think we need stricter gun laws. And what is that going to do? We do have gun laws in effect.
How are you going to enforce those?
The red flag laws. Wait, hold on. The red flag laws are really a nice solution. We need our gun laws to be stricter. Why? Because in other countries, they have proven that they work.
No, they just so like UK. Norway. What they do? Norway's a small country. You can't compare us to. Yeah, talk about the UK. They're talking about banning knives now, because everybody's going out and stabbing people instead of shooting people.
Listen, knives are not the issue though, and knives aren't the issue. Knives are not the issue here in America. Okay, if knives are the issue in the UK, it's not a problem here in America. Okay, yeah, it could be an issue at some point, but it's not going to kill people at high rates. Mere fact is,
the UK,
hold on, the UK in 1996 had the biggest massacre where what was it? 16 kids were killed, and the teacher, not a, right. So let me
Andre,
just say this: they have. Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta
You gotta
go.
go. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Bye, Rudy. Bye.
Bye.
This guy actually he has a huge following. But what I want to say is the UK. I don't think they have immensely decreased their gun violence. Norway has immensely decreased their gun violence. Japan completely annihilated it completely. They have zero tolerance. So to say that stricter gun laws don't work, that's a lie. They have proven to work in other countries. Now, if you want to talk about whataboutisms, then we can talk about that. But at least we won't be talking about guns anymore.
You do realize that it's against the law to kill people, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I think, okay, if it's against the law to kill people, okay, listen, that's not even funny to me.
It's against the, like you're saying, the law is going to fix it. It's already against the law to do it.
It's
They're
against the
breaking the
law.
law.
Yeah, it's against, guess what? It's against the law to kill people. That's correct.
Right.
And how many people still get killed?
Exactly.
Yeah, and guess what happens if you kill somebody?
You go to jail.
Yeah,
For how
not necessarily.
For
5
how
to
long?
10. 5 to 10.
So don't you think if the new law was if you kill someone, you're not getting out of jail at all? Like there's no chance, there's no freaking you getting out. Like basically, if you kill somebody, it's not a 10 to life, 15 to life, 25 to life. Like you're not getting out. Don't you think people would be apprehensive? Don't you think that people would be apprehensive to use the gun and kill somebody if they knew if they got caught, they were done?
It's a mental health problem. You're sitting here thinking like they're thinking this through and it's a big master plan. They're not doing that.
When you're saying do people kill, people are going to die. That's not the problem. The mere fact is we need to do everything humanly possible to decrease this national problem with the guns. Okay, so saying something like are people going to die? Well, no crap. They're talking about an asteroid coming here to Earth. What is that going to do to save these kids' lives? Time is of the essence. We need to all band together and create solutions and not come up with all these whataboutisms that are not going to bring forward solutions.
The same thing we do with everything else we want to protect. You could never go walk into the Federal Reserve and have a mass shooting. We're just not prioritizing children when it comes to security. Exactly. There's absolutely no security. You guys are talking about putting in a metal detector. That makes absolutely no sense. You're going to stop somebody with a gun from coming in with a metal detector? Okay, and then they pull their gun out.
Okay, so now we're on to something. So what do we do? What should we do? Do you have any solutions?
There has to be actual security. We have security in America. We have small security firms, large security firms. Like we're just there's literally no security at all. Half of the schools in America, you could literally just walk in there, walk around, probably for about an hour before somebody comes and says, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Right.
That's insane. That's crazy. If we really think about that, hey, all of our kids are here completely unprotected and the door's wide open.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
That's nice. Wow. That's what I'm concerned about. And the mere fact is our kids aren't safe anymore. They're not. But how are they getting the gun?
Andrew, let me.
I really don't want to tell you this because I feel like it's going to freak you out, but you can literally print a gun online. You can literally just print one out.
Access is a problem. Easy access. How can you print a gun with how do you do that?
You can print $1,000 and you print the pieces out one by one. You can put a gun together online. You can buy the blueprints for like $1.
That is ridiculous. Don't you think we need to ban that and have the FBI? 3D printing needs to be illegal, and there needs to be huge, strict laws against that.
So Andre,
you can make the laws all day, but all that does is stop law-abiding citizens.
Exactly.
No. Let me tell you something. If you are law-abiding, then you're going to abide by the law.
Right.
And no matter how strict those laws are, if you are law-abiding, you're still abiding by those strict laws. And what that's going to do
stopping a good guy.
Criminals, listen, what having stricter gun laws are going to do is not going to stop law-abiding citizens from not abiding by the law. If today here in America, they said you cannot buy a gun unless you're 30. Let's just say that would be very strict. To say that you can't have a gun by your 30, if you get a gun and you're not 30, then you're not law-abiding. So as long as you're abiding by the law, you are a law-abiding citizen. So get out of our way. Especially Democrats, the Republican Party is doing nothing, right?
Picture this.
Hey,
stop our
hold
gun
up,
violence.
hold up. It's
So
not
if
just
we're
the
going, listen,
Republicans. Come on now. Look,
what?
out of that 40,
Like
it's
that.
just not the Republicans. Come on now. Out of that 40,000 people that get shot every year, only 8,000 of those are actual like murders. So you got 30,000 that are suicides. You got 8,000 that are about that are actual murders. Now, if you look at where those murders are coming from, 80% coming from Democratic cities. Now you look at
Okay, no, but what? No, hold on,
you
Will.
look
I
at
like to hear
Washington,
this guy.
D.C., Baltimore, Chicago, and there's one more I can't recall right now.
Exactly.
They're
So,
all
Will,
Democrat
what?
ran.
Exactly, right.
And they
Will,
have
you
the
talk about
strictest
race,
gun law.
but guess what, Will? Guess what? Do me a favor. Don't say Democrat. Say African American. Just
No,
say it.
Democrat.
Stop
Hey,
calling
They're
us Democrats.
ran.
Just
They're
say black.
ran by
Stop calling.
Democrat
Wait,
mayors. They're ran by
Will.
Democrat.
Stop saying Democrats.
They're
What you
just.
guys really want to say is
Democrat
blacks.
is not just black.
Yes,
Democrat
it
is
is.
not.
You
They're
guys just want
affecting
to. You
black
guys
people.
get away.
They're
You guys
affecting
get away
black people.
from
They're
black.
not. That a
Hold on,
Democrat is.
Will.
Yeah, I'm holding.
Thank you. Republicans get away with being racist by instead of saying black,
What's the
saying
most
Democrat.
sociably
Let me
acceptable
tell you this.
racism
Let
right
me tell
now
you
in
this.
America?
I
Right
know this
now.
for a fact. Guess what, Will? I know this for a fact that what they really want to say is black, but they get away with this
No,
discriminative way to be racist by saying Democrat. You
no.
want to know how I know that? I've been doing this for now 3 years, and I wasn't
Okay.
even registered. Hold on. I wasn't even registered as a Democrat. Joke's on you. I've been an independent like Kanye West because I don't believe in a
Okay.
two-person
Good
party.
job.
I have been an independent because I am conservative
Exactly.
pertaining to God. I've been independent
Exactly.
because I'm a conservative, because I'm a person that is okay with working until I reach to the top in a capitalist country. I have never been Democrat to recently. When I renewed my license, I said register me as a Democrat because that's where I'm being heard more. If I'm going to get stronger into the Democratic Party, then nobody's going to hear me as an independent. They're going to hear me as a Democrat. Okay, so how in the hell were people for freaking how many years, 24 months, calling me a Democrat because I was for the BLM?
I
I'm not
agree.
calling you a
It's happening in
Democrat, and I'm not
Democratic
calling the
cities.
people that
When you
commit the
guys are
crimes
saying
Democrats.
it's happening in Democratic cities, you guys are negating the fact that these Democratic cities are predominantly black.
I think what he's just
Okay,
trying to
so
bring up that they have the strictest gun laws and the most gun
and the
crime.
strictest gun
And guess
laws,
what? They're
and
not
they're not
enforcing
run.
it. Red. Understand.
It's
Please understand.
unenforceable.
They're not enforcing these laws in democratic cities that are predominantly black. Do me a favor and look and see how many black men are disproportionately killed by the gun a year. You would see that we are dominating the homicides. They're not even helping us because they know that we are using the gun against our own people.
Look,
And
Colin
they're
Noor
not
said it the
coming.
best.
4
Colin Noor,
hours. 4
look,
hours to
listen,
come and
listen.
help little Ariana, George Floyd's
Colin,
daughter. Not daughter,
Colin
George
Noor
Floyd's grandniece. They're not even
explains it the
coming in our
best.
cities, and they know that they're gun infested. And guess what? Republicans are feeding money into the NRA to continue to manufacture guns, knowing
No,
that
So,
we are
are
using them
NRA
against
is going
ourselves.
bankrupt.
Are you proposing stop and frisk?
Listen, I love my people, and they don't like that. A majority of us, they don't like the stop and frisk. What I'm
yeah,
proposing
because
is leaders within these democratic cities that are predominantly black to come in and wake everybody up. I'm talking billboards everywhere. I'm talking commercials. I'm talking Beyonce doing concerts for free for once. We made her a capitalist. Come into Chicago, Beyonce. Come into Baltimore, Kanye, and do a free concert and dump that money into the educational system. And I'm not talking about HBCUs. I'm talking
they do
about
that.
little girls and boys in elementary school. Get them from the beginning. Go knock on their doors and give these kids money for college, so that as
And,
soon as they graduate high school, they don't even have a chance to be on the streets. They go straight to school.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on more programs for the kids to get into after school programs. I've seen statistics on that, not recently, but before COVID, that it was like if kids were like 50 to 61% more likely to do better if they had programs and things to do after school.
Right.
But a lot of the
Keep them
times,
busy.
I mean, if you're in
I agree.
poverty or whatever is going on, and
Right. And
I
guess
agree
what?
with
Guess
that.
what
kids
else?
going to be running the streets.
In loitering. I mean, not in loitering. I'm sorry. My mind is
Force it.
enforce loitering.
I swear to God, a lot of these gang related violences are going on because dudes are hanging out on the freaking streets and claiming blocks.
But the problem is, it's easy to say that as an idea. When it comes to enforcement and the actual laws that have to be followed, and the due process that goes with that, you're when you say something like, okay, end loitering, now what
Not
are
in
the
loitering, I'm
odds of
sorry,
that?
enforce loitering.
What are the
That
odds of that?
not be allowed.
But as one of us, what are the odds of that mostly affecting us?
I think positively, creating community centers are probably way more conducive
That's
for
a
the
good idea. That's
community.
a great
And
idea.
you know what? And in these community buildings, and we should build them. They're called and actually work incubators. Nipsey Hussle. I actually had an incubator that failed because they're very expensive. But Nipsey Hussle was trying to have a work incubator where you have offices, entrepreneur offices in there, in these incubators, in these buildings that we could build, could have like cafeterias that make the food affordable and more healthier. Places where people can try to get jobs in there, things like that. If you're hanging outside of let's just say hypothetically speaking, stores and things like that, why are you hanging out? What are you doing? When I was watching George Floyd, he was just, I mean, I feel bad for George Floyd because he was just trying to go get something done. So George Floyd isn't it Michael Brown? Who was the guy who was selling Lucy's and got killed by the cop?
Eric Gardner.
Eric Garner, thank you. Eric Garner, if he wasn't allowed to be hanging out, that's how they make their money, by random people selling, doing the thing. He might still be alive if he wasn't loitering, was at somebody's house. And people were knocking on the door.
But for him to not be able to sell cigarettes,
but that was he was breaking the law.
And then you gotta look at the what comes with that. So okay, now you're a loitering. You got your first case because you were standing in front of 7-Eleven eating Skittles or something. Like you gotta see what that leads to in the system that we're in.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I gotta leave. This thing's messing up.
What did you say, Will? You gotta go? Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I have grown up in predominant white neighborhoods. And I'm just saying this because I do work in predominant Black neighborhoods. I'm in both neighborhoods. I got one foot in both doors. Okay. What I want to say is this. What I've noticed that mostly our other peers that are white do in these deemed desirable towns is that they don't hang out outside of these certain stores. They usually hang out at coffee shops. It's just true. Coffee shops and restaurants.
But that costs money.
Okay, so let's build more places where we can hang out.
I think that's a great idea.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? And why are you guys even outside talking? One thing I love about the Black community, and guess what? I'm right next to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Okay, and let me tell you, go Google their statistics, and also New Haven, and also Hartford here in Connecticut. What I love about being around my people is the mere fact that there's a sense of community. Right. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's slapping fives and happy to see each other. It's not always a freaking fight. But in this place that I can think of right now where a lot of people hang out, there is a mailbox where somebody spray painted RIP this person, RIP that person. People are getting killed in these places where we hang out. So why not we create more community buildings in incubators where we can hang out, and in these places where we hang out, there is a security guard there. And it's clean, and it's more better for us to communicate. Black people, we love our people. We love communicating, but we got to do it in a safer way. And hanging out, especially in Connecticut, it's freaking cold. There's people out there. I feel
like the only piece of culture that we even have left is hanging out outside, like that. I mean,
no, it's not European that we shouldn't
culture,
hang out in public, King Ups. Loitering means that we're hanging out in business, in established businesses that are not meant for you to stay. They're meant for you to go in and get out and go where you need to go.
Right, but when we create laws, the main thing is going to be enforcement. There's going to be that, okay, this guy's just hanging around or he's just walking around, that gives these officers who aren't always great guys the go ahead to say, that's just another thing they can just say. And that's where it's going to become, and we know it's going to become a problem. Not that it should become a problem, but in the system that we're in, we know how they act and how they respond to these things.
I'm going to be honest. Those people are the people that have adapted and have been very successful in the street life style. You're talking about the people that are benefiting from this segregation economically.
Yeah.
They have benefited because a lot of people think Black people are broke in these cities, and they're not. They got
No.
whole out businesses, and they ain't trying to do things. And they're capitalists under the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they don't want these laws in there, and they don't care about the guns because the guns might be protecting them, and they're what they're trying to do.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's really imperative that we scream to the mountaintops in our people. I don't think they're hard to get to reach. Listen, if you want money, then let us entrepreneurs that know other ways to make it legit help
Right.
you get there, so that we can create these laws. I'm pretty sure every Black person in Chicago right now, in Baltimore, doesn't want gun violence.
Right.
So we need to put pressure on our own people and have no tolerance for it.
I don't see any solution besides mental health. I don't see any way that anything
I
is
have to
going to
break this
work
to you,
besides
and understand, and Red, mental illness, I hate to break it to you, it's not really affecting the Black community as
that.
much
No,
as the.
no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
I just don't
Because
agree. I
we
look
just
at the
we don't
suicidal
look
rates.
at it the same. We don't look at it the
Look
same.
at the suicidal rates in the Black community. It's like un poquito.
But look at the homicide rates. That's mental health. When you're killing people that look like you in your neighborhood, we in America, if you're white and you go
Okay.
kill somebody, they're gonna say, "Oh my God, he had a mental health issue." Da, 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 da. They give them that every single time. Dylan Roof, we've seen it a trillion times. Every time some guy kills his whole family and then shoots himself. Oh, it was a mental health crisis. It's a mental health crisis when we feel like we have no other way to deal with things than to kill another Black person, regardless if America accepts that
Okay,
or
I'll
not.
give you that. Okay.
And that's the thing. As a people, we've been traumatized for hundreds of years.
That's true.
Hundreds of years of mistreatment. Anybody would be in a mental health crisis, and we're just not doing anything about it. It's almost not even existent in our communities.
Right.
And if it does exist, it's $60 an hour to talk to this 80-year-old lady. It's like that's not effective. Somebody who could never even comprehend what's going on.
Yeah, and it's not only that, and I do get that because when I be explaining to people that statistically it's saying that we're dominating homicidal rates in our communities, and people get offended. To me, that's weird.
Yep.
Why are you offended if you're not a part of it? So I commend you on that one. So I think a combination between enforcement, making laws stricter in these communities. I mean, we can't deny that there's Black people out there, that there's bad Black people out there, just like there's bad white people out there. Not every Black person is a good person, but we have to defend our people so much that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think people realize that we're getting in the way of getting the criminals who's going to be doing some gang retaliation, and these bullets are going through people's houses and killing people's children and shooting them.
Yeah.
So I do think stricter gun laws is key, but also mental illness. I think, why can't we do both?
I feel like my main goal this year is to get mental health on the top of everybody's charts, because we have mass shootings, we have domestic violence, addiction, corporate greed, the military industrial complex. Suicide is literally prevalent in every aspect of life that we need mental health in this country. There's no reason that our military budget is 10 times the next country. You put all the countries together and their military budget is still not even up to ours. That's insane. And we're going to use it to destabilize nations everywhere. And then when the people come here, hey, we need somewhere to go, we don't want to talk. Like that, to me, that's a mental health problem. Corporations stealing water, the Flint water crisis going on for 10 years. 10 years, the Flint water crisis going on. That is a mental health problem. We have the money to fix it. We just feel like
it's
we
not
don't
only
need
a mental health problem. This is what I keep saying, is that through my research, predominant Black people that are in the impoverished level, which maybe a one income family driven home, things of that nature, are living in these gun infested cities. It's a problem. These cities are underfunded, you guys. These cities, like Chicago, things like that, whether you want to believe it or not, are undervalued and also underrepresented. Okay, and that's why I say that there's disproportionately Black people in these cities. When they see Democratic cities, I'm telling you, what they're really saying is Black cities.
And
So
the thing too that
Can I
I've noticed is
say something about what you were saying earlier?
oh, go ahead.
About what you were saying about the community centers and how it would cause more or the loitering and all that. Have you ever been to a neighborhood? Or because you live in Ohio, right? And you're from Hawaii?
I live in Connecticut, next to a town
Connecticut. Okay.
called Gunwavin, New
Okay.
Haven.
So
I just
exactly.
don't
So
live
listen, and
in
you're from Hawaii,
Gunwavin, New
right?
Haven.
So I'm saying, have you ever been to a hood or a neighborhood or anybody like my whole point is those
Yeah,
cities are usually it's a
Bridgeport,
big city. My point, listen, there's
Hartford,
usually a big city. And how he was
Waterbury,
saying earlier,
all of
listen
them.
to me.
Been there.
Listen to me. How he was saying earlier, that's our culture. That's the last of our culture to hang outside. You know what I'm saying? And
That's literally
growing
all we
up in
got
those
left.
neighborhoods, yeah, that's all we have left. And that's how we come amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? It's hot in the house, the ACs don't work. There's reasons why we're outside. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I don't know where all in my neighborhood it's hot. You know what I'm saying? We're outside. In New
Okay,
York, I know it's small. They're outside. You know what
You
I'm
in New
saying?
York?
I'm on the
You
phone,
feel
guys.
me? Those are, and they put those laws in place to hold us. You know what I'm saying? Those are part of the reasons that held us back. Before
Right.
we couldn't even congregate.
So
We couldn't
Brendan,
come together. Only two of us.
I'm not
Nah, but
denying
you're
that.
contradicting yourself. You're saying we can't
No,
put each other down, but you're putting us down. You're on their side talking about inflict those laws. Like you're saying, if they inflict those laws, we really won't have no culture. We wouldn't be able to see each other.
Brendan,
You know what I'm saying? We can
did
build
you
community
not
centers.
hear me
But
say,
let me hear you. I've been here. I've been trying to get on for a minute. I heard everything. I've been
Brendan,
trying to
no,
get
you
on for a
didn't.
minute.
What I'm telling
Yeah,
you is no, you didn't hear me. When
you
I
said we
said,
could build community centers for people to go to and he led on to your point and bring it in those community centers we can put mental health people in there. And you said the black community
exactly.
don't. Yes, and you said the
What
black
I'm,
community
hold
doesn't
on.
have a
I know
mental.
you want to get
Let
it
me get
all
my
out,
point
but let
out,
me
baby.
just say this, Brendan, because what I don't like is that, you know what I mean? You think I'm coming for my people, and that's freaking bullcrap. Okay?
I don't think you're
100%.
coming for us. I just don't think you. I don't think you have the right
I don't
outlook. I think
think
you're
it's
looking at
your
it from
intent.
another point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think you see it from
Brendan,
the bigger
I am
picture.
servicing
I think you're
the,
reading.
Brendan,
I think you're reading paperwork and you haven't seen the life. You haven't seen the life and you're reading the statistics instead of understanding the life. Maybe you understand it, but you don't understand it. You know
if
what I'm
there
saying? Because
wasn't snow up to my freaking tires, I would literally stay live and drive to these towns so you can see what I'm talking about.
I understand. Like I
I want to
understand.
show you
Like
guys because when I do that, and I just did that, now all of a sudden I got enemies because now I'm showing you guys the mess. You guys want me to go to New Haven right now? I'm gonna show you the spot.
listen, I don't want you to go. I've been to those. I've been to these
You
towns and
want
I've
me to
been
show
to the
you? Want me
hills.
to
I've
risk
been
my
to a lot of
life and
times.
I don't have any guns
Listen, you don't
so you
have to
guys can
show me.
see what I'm talking about?
Listen, I've had
Because
family
I
members
don't
killed.
live there, so I don't live far from it.
I've been affected by gun brutality as well, and I've had
Okay,
on
but
both
listen,
spectrums. Like
Brendan,
on both
Brendan,
spectrums.
Brendan,
Go
I
ahead.
want you to understand that loitering is something that people do in general. But what I have noticed is that in these places where, in these high crime areas, in cities, democratic cities where people loiter, people get shot.
But listen to me, that's my point. You're calling it democratic cities, people loitering, but you just said in white towns they're called coffee shops and they can chill. Where's the coffee shops in these neighborhoods? We don't have coffee shops. We
So
have gun stores, liquor
that's what
stores, and
I'm
all the other shit.
suggesting.
Exactly. And then so listen, I heard you. So listen to my point. Because in
So
my
you're getting
neighborhood,
mad at
we
me
built
because
a
I'm
community
saying
because
let us have.
I'm trying to get a point across and you're trying to I'm not
But
even
you're
trying to get a
trying to
point across.
demonize my
I'm
mission
not
here.
demonizing shit. I'm telling you my opinion on everything that you said. I've been trying to get in for a minute. I'm trying to get it all out from like to explain
But I
everything
can't
before we
let you
go
sit here.
further.
Put some respect on my name. Damn.
I respect you. I respect you the fuck. I respect the fuck out of you. That's why I watch you. If I didn't respect you, I wouldn't watch you. You know what I'm saying? I do, and
Facts.
that's why I'm. You feel me? I respect you. There's just certain points that I want to get across. I'm trying to get them all out before we go further because I know we're
Go
gonna go
ahead.
further. You know what I'm saying? So you said about the community center in my neighborhood. They built a community center. You know what I'm saying? Where people can box and they had all that shit. But the thing is, that only built like it made like it to where it wasn't like it was a certain place where it was like a targeted area. And I'm not gonna say it was a bad idea. I'm just saying it wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Because if there was more community centers and it kept going, it would have worked like how Nipsey was doing. I believe in that idea. I do, and I do believe that we should have it because there is a big ass mental crisis in the black community. We have PTSD. They think, listen, I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. I know more killer. I mean, wait, I'm not gonna say I know niggas on the street who caught more bodies than niggas I've served with. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I know some niggas have been through some gruesome shit. That seen some gruesome shit. So the fact is that you can say that, like, and that's just on a Monday type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, and they just got to keep living life and shit. That's PT. Like, they got some fucked up
Yeah,
issues. Kids are going
me
through. Every
too.
kid I know has
Honestly,
been through the system. Like every kid I
I
know, and that's a
feel like
mental issue. If there's a go ahead. I mean, hold on. If there's a white kid who did that shit, they're on all type of drugs, antidepressants, and all this shit. They have
right,
therapy and all type of shit. We don't get none of that. It's not that we don't get it, but we don't get it. You know why? Because that thought right there, black people don't have a mental disorder. And when we try to look into that, it seems as demonized, or we look down on or weak or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
therefore, there is a big ass problem, and there's a big ass fucking like we need that shit. We need that in the community centers. You know what I'm saying? We need more
Desperately,
community centers, like
desperately,
desperately,
desperately.
because they built one in my neighborhood, and all that shit turned into was a target for niggas. Oh, that's where they at. Oh, what are you doing up there? You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as you
Right.
walked out, niggas just getting maybe punched on you, just fighting. And my point is, my nigga, it's like it's
Stop
a
saying
good
the
idea, but at
N-word.
the
I
same
don't
time,
want.
you can't
Listen,
make it
we're gonna
you
not let
can't
you
make it a
refer.
loitering thing. I
I
don't
want to
say it. I
share
don't
this. Don't
say it.
say
Oh,
the
you're right. You're
N-word.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm saying it's
Listen,
endearing. Like
listen.
you are.
And I'll let Ray
Go
go.
ahead.
Everything you said, I feel you. But you have to understand that because I have both perspectives, okay, because I live near these cities and I also am on the outskirts of these cities, that the floor plan, you know what a floor plan is as far as the community goes. And there's a township, and these towns that you guys have townships, they're 36 blocks. That what I'm telling you is that the floor plan is not the same. Is what I'm saying. Is
And
that yes, in a
and
predominant
that's what
white
I
neighborhood,
understand
and
that.
well,
You
Ray,
heard of
hold on.
redlining.
And,
You know
and
about all of the history. So
exactly. So
how
in
can you
a
sit here and tell
so
us
what
like,
I'm
oh,
telling you
we
is
can't loiter?
what I'm telling
What
you
were we
is
supposed to do?
I'm
Like, it's not
exactly.
loitering. It's I'm
And
meeting with my
I'm
brother. I haven't
not
seen him in 2 weeks.
listen.
Like,
I'm okay. Listen, I'm
go
not
ahead.
denying what you're saying, but what I'm saying is the floor plan should be the same. Black people should have a place. Predominant black people and brown people, Latinos, in these underfunded historically underfunded cities should have the same opportunities. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but you shouldn't have to loiter in your city.
Exactly.
You
It
shouldn't
shouldn't be
have
called
to.
loitering. It shouldn't be a rule,
So
and it
the mere
shouldn't be like
fact that people are loitering, I wouldn't suggest a strict law like that that's enforced without having an alternative place to communicate safely.
I just wanted to say a couple things. To the loitering point, we own the least amount of property of anybody, which is one of the reasons I watch your channel. I know you're a realtor. I respect that. I think that's super dope. And I think that's
In
one of
these
the
cities,
things we need to do. One of the things we need to do is get more property and our names, get more. And then
hello.
instead of loitering, we're at our homes. We're
I think
gathering
I
with
got a
our
lag.
friends and our loved ones. And then it's
hey,
just a
let me
whole
say this
different
real quick.
thing.
As a realtor, I'm telling you right now that you can buy a piece of land for cheap.
Yeah.
For cheap. I just sold a piece of land for about $6,000. Okay, if you put
Okay.
everybody in the community and it paid $6,000, you could create these spaces where you're not loitering, that you're just hanging out. They could be called
Right.
hangout locations or whatnot. But I would
Yeah.
ensure that it's safe for everybody, because these are the places you could build basketball courts. These are the places you could build like centers and things of that nature, where people can go and their kids can feel safe and be in that environment, where maybe there is a checkpoint where we make sure you don't have any guns or any violence before you even get there.
Right.
Like you said, these places could be a target, but I would create this place for leaders to come in there and have no tolerance for people to pop off. Like I would literally try to, if I had $1 million, I would create these centers, but safety cameras and
And it
all
will
that.
get torn the fuck. They will bomb us just like they've done in the past.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
But
I see what
anyways,
you're saying. I don't necessarily agree with
I
that,
mean,
but
I just
I
read that
do
out the
know
comments, but
historically that
so,
that has happened a couple times.
You're
But
right.
I was gonna say, so I'm from Detroit. I've seen it, and to the underfunding point, they actually take monies from the inner cities and give it to the suburbs. There's thousands of ways they do that, and they got all these different systems in place where they can take the high populated, they like to call it, areas,
They
money.
got all these different
And
systems in place where they can
I
take
don't know
the
what I
high populated. I think it's not. Oh, I don't know why we're echoing.
it's hella echoing for me too.
I'm gonna go back. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think come back if you want to.
I was gonna say, just
I,
me personally, aside from my own life that has been, I've had a tough life. I have PTSD every time I see a Michael Brown, a Eric Gardner, a George Floyd, a Dante Wright. It physically hurts me. Like I'm crying because it's happening again and again and again and again. And I feel like I need therapy for that alone.
Yeah.
Why do they want to kill people like us and air it in the media all day long? And it's the Aubrey case. It's not the murderous case. It's the Aubrey case. They're gonna put it in our name when he's dead. That's crazy to me. They don't
Yeah,
do
but
that for
Red,
white people.
you understand that the gun has everything to do with it, though?
I see where you're coming from. I don't think it's an enforceable thing for America to take the guns away. I just don't. I don't
Yeah,
because
but you
we
don't
got the
understand that
computers.
these cops, listen, I'm with a correctional officer, and he doesn't even feel comfortable being in public in his uniform because it's dangerous. But a lot
Yeah,
of these, especially white cops, think that black guys in the hood are walking around with they're black with guns. They don't see a black dude. They see a black dude with a gun. They see a black guy dangerous, and it's not your fault. It is America's fault for centuries demonizing the black man. I watched the movie for a little bit called Blazing Saddles, and I was disgusted how many people think that movie is funny. Okay, I'm so tired of seeing movies like American History X, where people were like, that was a good movie, but don't see that in the first few minutes of that movie, a black man got his freaking jaw crushed on concrete.
yeah,
People are so desensitized to black men dying that they at one point they were passing out posters, little postcards to their families with black men hung for centuries and centuries. We can see black men getting arrested and nobody even flinches. Nobody even thinks that they're even innocent. They think that, well, it's law and order. You shouldn't have broke the law. They don't even believe that black men have a right to go through due process. Ahmaud Arbery didn't even have a gun. He was unarmed. And civilians,
right,
the opportunity to say that because they thought he was breaking the law, they could take the law into their own hands.
right. And so your view is that
So I'm
there's
not saying it's their fault, but what I'm saying is they've been jacking up the black man's image and credibility for so long
right, and we
that
need to
black
start
men
suing these
have
media
time.
companies when they use our
It's the
likeness. When
media,
they
and
use
it's
our
also
likeness and
American.
slander us, we need to sue them. Well, there should be lawsuits every time they slander our likeness. We could sue them.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Civil Rights Act protects us. Black people are a protected class. You know what that means? We have rights to sue. And I'm telling you right now, if you guys start getting sue happy, you're gonna make money. We don't need a reparations if we start holding our country, our state officials accountable.
Yeah,
I am telling
yeah.
you that the discrimination law pertaining to real estate is like $25,000 the first time, and it goes up to almost $100,000. If we start getting sue happy and we start coming up, guess what? It even happens with police brutality. You know how many families got payouts because they were George Floyd's daughter, what I think she got like $2 million from Kanye West. There's a lot of money. What was it, Johnny? Who's that guy that got beat in the 60s? What's his name? The guy that got beat by all the cops. What's his name? The guy that got beat with all the cops and it was filmed for the first time.
Rodney King, Emmett
Rodney King.
Till.
You know how much money Rodney King got?
No, I don't.
A lot. Okay. So if we start getting sue happy and start using the law, yeah, Rodney King. If we start using the law to say we're not going to take it anymore, instead of being like, you know what, we don't got a chance out there, so we're just going to do the street life and do our own thing.
And that's my
If
take
we
on it.
start,
Like, I want to see more black investment centers. I want to see more black
that's
law
what I'm
firms,
trying to
more
do. That is
black
my
real
ultimate
estate
motive,
brokers. I
to
want to
create
see
my
all of it.
platform, to be known for what I'm doing, and I want to invest. You guys, I'm about to take the broker's license. As soon as the snow melts, I'm about to go out there and take this thing. I could create I've already done it. I have an LLC in real estate. How awesome would it be if we all come together, black or white? We need white allies. Okay,
Right.
we need white saviors just coming together that fight for equality and equity of treatment in this country. And we put our money
Guys,
together
I'm on the
and
phone.
start
We're not gonna do
buying
nothing
up
right
these
now.
pieces of lands that are available, buying the property that we own, and creating our own township authorities
What's
that are
on the
going to create
doing?
a safer environment and allow for better businesses to come in. I'm sorry, but if I had a shop, right? If I had a store, I really don't want you hanging around my store. I need people to come in and come out so I can make money. This is a capitalist country. So although people are like lawyering, businesses probably don't like that. They probably don't like that you want to hang out and talk for freaking an hour with your friends and smoke cigarettes and then drop the cigarettes and then they got to clean it up after. Okay, you guys need a place to go. And we all do. We all need a place to go and feel safe in order to talk to. You know what? I couldn't believe that this happened. This was last year. There was these black boys at a Starbucks, and they were told they had to leave. Did you guys
I
hear
remember
that?
that. I
They
remember
had
that.
to freaking leave a place
Yeah,
where
that
you
was some
can hang
bullshit.
out for a while. As long as you buy a cup of coffee, you should be able to hang out.
Right. And
And
they
I'm gonna
don't
tell
say
you,
that to none of the Karens. You'll never see that happen to them.
this is my dream, is to go to like an inner city and see black neighborhoods with coffee shops on every block instead of KFC and freaking go look at my videos. I showed you guys a video of a predominant black neighborhood. There were so many fast food restaurants. The place where I live has lots of taverns. We should have taverns. Why aren't taverns? This is something that I've noticed as a realtor that's in all types of cities, in all different neighborhoods. Why in predominant black cities don't we have taverns? Do you guys know what a tavern is? A tavern is like a restaurant, but it's like also a bar, but it has like really good food, like with olive oil and all types of stuff. It's just like a better quality of a restaurant, but it's not a bar and it's not a restaurant. It's like kind of like a commingled place where you can hang out. I used to hang out when I was single at a tavern for hours on end. As long as you buy a drink, you should be able to hang out at a tavern. Why don't we have taverns?
I mean, I
Also,
think we just need to get it together and own the stuff
somebody said
ourselves.
because people get robbed. See,
I'm
that's
tired of.
really wrong to even say that.
But poverty is a thing that we have to look at and we have to address the issue. We can't act like it doesn't exist. They got over on us. They got away with hundreds of years of free labor. They didn't pay us, and then they threw us in the inner cities. We went to the inner cities. They gave everybody else credit. Waited 70 years to give us credit. Poverty is a problem, and we need to look at it. And America
Exactly.
needs to pay up.
But
They
like
need to
this
pay
person
up.
right here is saying that what I'm saying is cringy when all I'm doing is trying to be an advocate for people that listen.
Yeah.
You think Beyonce is a part of this? She's living in like a 12-bedroom mansion. You think Rihanna's a part of this? Hell, I'm not even going to be a part of this in the next 5 years. I plan and know that I'm going to be.
Right.
So I ain't talking about me. I ain't talking about Red. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about my people that have been a product of oppression for over 400 years, that have been stuck within the red lines and don't even realize the red line has been gone.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the big thing about it is education, credit, education, business education. I feel like we need to understand business and business credit. And 10th grade, we should be learning that.
Yes, absolutely.
10th
Like
grade.
my kids will know that don't mess up your credit. And all it takes is responsibility, because I believe, because I'm in the business, that's where they discriminate. It's with credit. You cannot discriminate based upon race, because we are part of the protected class. So they get us with the credit, and then in these towns that they don't want us in, they jack the rent up 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So you can't afford to get it. How can we keep up and live in these desirable towns and get out of these gun-infested cities when you guys are making it so hard for us to come up? And then guess what? 90% of the institutional power in this country is run by white people. We are minorities. So to sit there and think that every black person can work at a black business, there's just not enough black businesses to hire all of us. So at one point, we need white people to hire us. And guess what? They're not. So guess what are we going to do? We're going to create our own businesses in our houses and where we live. And unfortunately, those businesses need protecting. And sometimes these gangs protect those businesses. Okay. And but what happens is somewhere down the line, because there's a territory competition, a capitalization within these cities, they start to go against each other because it's business. Now you're on my block, because that's where the gang violence is happening. It's not because, or whatever, not, but it's just like if they come in their territory, then they're messing up their business. They have to protect their business. They can't go to the cops. And then guess what? You do have crime in these areas because everybody's trying to come up. So guess what? I'm pretty sure if you got something that I want and you were living in a zone where we know police won't go, well, what does that create? A great place incubator for crime to freaking happen.
Right.
Just people trying to survive. That's it. Just
But I
people
feel like
trying
we
to
need to have like a caucus on ourselves and
yeah.
just agree to stop. And it's happened. It happened with the Bloods and Crips in California. It's happened before. It's not like it can't happen, but there needs to be money. There has
Yeah.
to be funded because I'm not gonna starve and keep up with this contract. You know, like we have to figure out how we can do that. And I think real estate is a great avenue. I think
Yeah.
business credit is a great avenue.
Yeah.
I think even trades, teaching trades, like there's a lot of stuff that we can do that we're not doing just because of those issues that come
Just do
with the
me a favor,
poverty
Red.
and
Look at the comments. Please read these comments. I want you to see what I see. Like, look at this one. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Make better decisions. But we're literally going
sitting
back
here talking about that.
behind the solution. So, to
Crazy.
sit there and think that there aren't racist people that don't want us to do better, that's crazy. Instead of saying excuses, what excuses are we making? We're trying to get solutions. And I think that's why I have so many trolls, is because they know what I'm trying to do. They know
Right.
what my dream would be. And that would be for us to have the same standards as everybody else, to have the same opportunities as everybody else. And the
I
mere
feel like
fact
we outperform everybody
we
else,
don't.
honestly. I feel like we outperform in almost every avenue. Because if you look at billionaires, we've got like 20 black billionaires from the last 2 years. And they came, all of them came from nothing. Jay-Z, Kanye, beyond all of these people 20, 30 years ago had nothing. And we got all these people that had money passed down for generations. They got more money than y'all. If
Let me
you're a
tell you
racist
what
person
I would like
watching
to
this,
see. What I
you
would like to
should be
see these
squirming.
billionaires. What I want to see. What I want to see these billionaires like the Knowles, Beyonce, and Jay-Z. But I want to see people with that type of money. They're billionaires, you guys. I'm telling you, that is a lot of freaking money. I want to see them create not Trump towers, but Beyonce towers, if you will.
There we go. Yeah, I'm down with
Let's
that.
create Beyonce towers in the middle of these democratic cities or predominant black cities. I'm talking maybe sky towers if they can get their approval.
I love to do it.
And in these towers is affordable rent. In these towers, maybe on the first floor, is commercial commercial space that will allow for that are affordable. It has to be affordable because it's just not fair to charge
Did you know?
people the same in these cities as you would in anywhere else. So there needs to be a cap on rents pertaining to residential and commercial property. And there needs to be that, you know what that's going to do? That's going to create jobs because guess what? You need leasing consultants to rent the apartments out. Leasing consultants make a lot of money. That used to be my dream job before I became a realtor. Leasing consultants make the lease up. So that means there's got to be an agent there that moves people in. And then guess what else the building needs? Maintenance. It needs maintenance. Somebody's got to maintain the building. That's going to create more jobs. And then on the first floor, you probably need a convenience store that's inside the building. That's going to create more jobs. Then you need security within the building. That's going to create a safe space. Okay? And Beyonce, and they're going to make money. They're going to make money. But what this is going to do is create a new floor plan for the inner city.
And I think we're getting close, and I think that if developers caught on to the way, because I know like in China they have these huge sky rises where they have schools and daycares and businesses and coffee shops all inside the building, a few different floors. Like I think that's really cool, and the rent is like super cheap. Some people live there for like 70 years. One guy was saying there's a Netflix documentary. I don't remember what it's called. But he said he lived there for say. He's like, why would I leave here? This is amazing. I pay, $10 a month, and they got daycare.
Yeah.
My kids grow up here. My daughter lives across the hall.
More jobs because of these new developments. More people being able to live in these situations instead of black people thinking, well, I can't afford to live in the outskirts town that are desirable. Therefore, I need to go to the government and ask them for money.
Right.
They don't even give you that much, or go to the government and ask them for low income housing. Well, but not just low income housing. What do they call projects? But do you know somebody from New York came here? I've been to the projects in I think I was Brooklyn or something, the Bronx or something in New York. I live very close to New York. I went there where those big brown buildings, the projects are, and the halls are smell like pee, like urine.
Yeah.
They're disgusting. And I couldn't believe how many people live there. And I was like, you guys don't smell that? And they call them pissy halls because they're pissing in the hallway. What if new developers came in there and revamped those buildings?
They should. It's a lot of money out here,
Pissy
and it's a
halls
lot of
shouldn't be normalized.
opportunity.
I'm saying, you know.
I
So
feel like another thing our community needs is passive income. Like I think that's where we're failing the most is we're not getting passive income. We're the laborers,
yeah,
and I think we spend the most and retain the least. So I feel like if we could address those couple issues, that would be a tremendous help. Oh yeah, somebody.
Why not enable people to join the workforce with education and make their own way, Bob? Because you still need the accessibility. And unfortunately, Bob, I don't think you understand that racism is still plaguing our country. The mere fact is, yeah, that would be beautiful if you think that people could just go into the workforce and get a job. I'm gonna let you guys know this. I have my own LLC and I make my own money. Okay, I file my own taxes every year. But in real estate, we have dry seasons like winter, where people aren't moving as much and I'm not making as much. So I've been looking for a job for the past, my son is going to be 5 now. I did get a job in between and I quit. I was like, all right, do real estate. But I've been looking for like a decent like winter job or a part-time job for the past 5 years. 5 years. On Indeed, I have pushed out so many applications, and let me tell you something. I am very
Go to Amazon. They'll hire you right now.
for some of these jobs.
I get what you're saying, and I get what you're saying, and same thing. How I have my LLC. I've only been out of my part-time job I had the same part-time job for 2 years, and for me it's kind of harder because I only need a part-time job. And same thing for me. New clients are slower for the winter, but I don't want a full-time job at all because I can't commit like that. Because when shit starts popping off, like this summer, I was so busy, like constantly. So I can't, But anyway, that's not neither here or there. I just wanted to jump in for a couple minutes. Yesterday, somebody was talking about, with your regular subject matter. Yesterday, I don't know who, I think we got into a whole subject we were talking about mental health checks first. Remember that? Okay. And then I was saying, since my woman, she works for the state and she's above, I can't explain what she does. She makes sure that disabled adults in all kinds of situations in this county are taken care of and they get their proper funding. And if somebody dies under care, like in a group home or whatever, she investigates it. It's all kinds of stuff. I can't explain exactly what she does. Mainly she just sits in the office and watches YouTube all day. But anyway, when we were trying to figure out can people, what type of mental health issues completely bans you from owning firearms? Now, she's not in a way that she could figure that out for me. But when I was on your live earlier, she called me and she was talking to me about something. And then I brought up something and she told me that when it comes to disabled adults who actually have not mental problems, but like an actual disability to where they're mentally handicapped in a way, like as her goddaughter is autistic and she's an adult. She's like 25 years old. She has a job and everything because me and her used to work at the same part-time job until recently where I quit. But technically, when it's all broken down and she's tested and everything, she is on the same level as the average fourth grader in all kinds of ways. So I was like, can she own a firearm? And my girlfriend was like, I don't know for sure. This was just a few minutes ago we had this conversation. And she was like, she will go back and start researching how all that works and everything. But the one thing she did say is that if and I'm going back to the whole thing about actual mental health, she did say if a mentally disabled person is on a level to at least be able to live alone, even if they need some kind of help. But if they can really actually live alone, she wouldn't believe that it would be against the law for them to own firearms, even if they are mentally handicapped and say you're 40 years old, but mentally you're only 16 or whatever. She doesn't believe it would be against the law. She will look into it to see and make sure. But I want to pivot that to the whole point of what type of actual real mental illness would a psychiatrist say somebody has that would ban them from owning firearms. So once she gets the information about actual disabled adults, I'll take the next step and do research of how that correlates to actual mental illness.
I
You
can't
know
tell you
what?
what's
I'm
on
reading the
paper,
comments.
but
I'm reading the comments, and I have to say, you guys going back and forth are the types of thoughts that disgust me. And when you guys think that I'm coming from my people, and you are sitting there negating the fact of centuries of oppression and the mere fact that not everybody can get on the levels that other races have had centuries of opportunities to do that, you know what I'm saying? People from Britain that came here and other races that came here did not earn the land, did not work for the land. Okay? There was centuries of exploitation and even laws that prohibited the use of human beings from other countries to work for free and weren't even considered human beings, but were considered chattel and property. And for you to say that's not today, but yet your family and your race and for generations and generations had got to rape my people and steal my people and not even give them the same freaking playing field that you guys been playing in for freaking 400 years
I don't.
is
I
freaking
don't.
mind-boggling.
or that they
I don't
give
want
the
to stay. I
immigrants,
don't want to stay on much. I really only want to stay on a couple more minutes because it's already like
Disgusting.
it's almost
To your
11
point,
o'clock.
the only qualification is to be 18. No matter what they have on
Oh, well.
paper, when you actually go to buy a gun, the only thing
Look
they're
at
gonna
Britain.
ask for
You
is your
know a lot
ID.
of people couldn't afford slaves, right?
Jesus Christ.
Like, I'm
But
gonna
But
fuck.
yeah,
okay,
they just
Andrea,
they
let him finish. I don't. I really don't want to stay on. I want to play some
Yeah,
video
I'm
games.
about to
But
go
anyway,
too
I
because
want to hear what
because the
I want to.
ignorance is
Yeah,
prevalent, and that's when
I
I know
want
I
to hear
gotta
what
walk
he's.
away.
I want to
Red,
hear
I
what
definitely
he's.
enjoyed our conversation this time more than ever.
I just want to hear
Our
what he was going to say real quick, and then I'm going to elaborate on the point that you were just saying, and then I'm definitely going to go.
the process is you go to the gun shop, manufacturer, whoever. You show them your
Oh, I
ID.
bought plenty
They're
of
they're
firearms
they're
legally
gonna,
before I became a felon. Yeah, I understand how the
they're,
process works.
they're gonna let
Well,
the FBI know, and the only thing the FBI is gonna do is see if you're a felon or if you're criminally
yeah, I
insane,
know.
which you have to like
what you mean,
Oh,
y'all?
find
so it's an
something.
actual
Y'all.
criminally insane thing that
Yeah,
is right now like an actual law.
yeah,
So meaning like
that's really the only thing.
so like meaning that you've been convicted of say a felony involving or I would guess
Um,
a criminally insane is different, but I'm guessing that means that you had the state actually put you in a facility because of the
You
crime
would
that
have
you
to
committed.
commit
So
heinous crime, like
the same thing as being a felon
Can
basically.
I just say this
So
real quick?
yeah, pretty
Old
much.
angry vet.
It's a felon
Old
except for
underscore angry
mental health
underscore vet said
type.
talking about oppression with the tat of Hawaii on her shoulder. I don't know if you know this, but Hawaii has been oppressed too. I don't know if you know this, but Hawaiians
To get
got
triggered, I'm on.
reparations because they were oppressed too. I don't know if you realize this, but I grew up around Hawaiians that are fighting still to this day because they're doing eminent domain and stealing the freaking land to capitalize on freaking Americans that are off of the freaking
hold on.
that aren't Hawaiian and pushing them off of the island. So if you don't think that there's oppression on the 50th state of America, you got to do your freaking homework.
Hold on, real
I gotta
quick.
go.
The one ignorant person with 18 followers who probably doesn't make content. I didn't say anything about don't check if I'm a felon. I'll get firearms regardless. That's one of the points where I get on here and I talk with Andrea. I'm a felon. I'll go get firearms. You know what? Let me not even incriminate myself. The whole point is
Wait, what one?
I'm not
I
concerned
hate that
about
for you.
that.
You
I'm
still
not
hate that.
concerned about that.
That's the
If you were
problem.
listening to what we were talking about, we're talking about the mental health issue. It had nothing to do with felonies. He just broke it down in a way that I said, oh, so it's just the same thing across the board that if you're a felon. Now, to finish what you were saying earlier, Andrea, before you kind of pivoted to, from Montana, one of the things, like you said, it's not all about slavery. Real quick, I'm just explaining this real quick.